Hey, hey, hey. Discovering, I'm assuming that's you in chat that I see right now. Well, I guess we're going to sit here for a few minutes and wait for people to come in. We all know that's how that works. When you all come in, I mean, everybody's heard the stories. Hello, TT. Everybody's heard the stories, guys, of where Summer was supposed to have been when she went missing. We've heard Candus and Dawn both recite it, and Grandis also recite that she was in the basement after she had wanted to go play with the boys. And then after she went down there, Candace went to check on her, and she was just gone. She just got gone. Well, guys, how many stories have we heard from law enforcement, from WJHL, from news reporters stating that and I did a video this morning, and that's what this is connected to. And it has a segment in there where a news reporter says that it came from the boys that she had walked out the basement door. And in the early days, if you'll listen to that video, it has Don Wells himself even stating that she walked out that basement door that was supposed to have been locked, and they've not seen her since. So even Don changed his story. We have Leslie Earhart making a statement as to where Summer was at, and it wasn't in that house. Ronnie Lawson says, well, she just walked away. She got farther than what they thought she was going to go, and she's not been seen since. WJHL says that around, 7 o'clock that she was seen walking away from her home on Ben Hill Road. So where do you guys think she was at when she got gone? And I hate saying that word, but we all repeat that that was Candace's statement when she told about Summer disappearing. Was she just got gone? She was just gone. Hello, May May. How are you today, sweetheart? Nana of 3. Hello. Hello, V. How are you guys doing today? TT. It just struck me. I was, going over clips and videos and stuff that I had this morning and trying to figure out, what, because I have like tons of different video ideas, guys, but I'm trying to figure out which one would be the best to do. And the more I listened to these clips and realized, hey, wait a minute, nobody can settle on where this child was actually at. And if you think about it, Candus herself said on Daisy's channel the other day that she told law enforcement one story and told everybody else a completely different story. So was the basement story the one that she told YouTube? And was Summer walking away from the house the one that was actually the truth? I mean, tell me what you think, guys. Hello, hippie grandma, Victoria Burgess. Second to no one. Unless Don was there, he can't say for sure if Summer walked out the back door. Right, I agree. But he sure does insert himself into knowing everything that happened that day, don't he? Hello, Suzanne. Second to no one. By the way, I don't know if you got my response on the community tab or not. But yes, that is my granddaughter that was singing on live stream that I showed the picture of last night. Isn't she just gorgeous, guys? She is absolutely gorgeous. I'm proud. All of my grandchildren are beautiful. Every single one of them. But this granddaughter is the one that is willing to allow me to put her picture out there and to sing on live stream and stuff. So that's why. That's why I put her out there. Wished we knew where Summer was in May, the month before she went missing. Yeah, that would be a very interesting thing to know. All is very good. The sun is shining. I have 2 new kittens. I tried to put their pictures out last night, guys. And I've named them Loki and Luna. They're brother and sister. I don't know what to think. I just wish everybody would tell the truth and maybe we could help find Summer. Amen. I think she ran off. I believe she got lost and just hasn't been found yet. Okay, V. Yeah, I saw that. She has a beautiful voice and she's so pretty. Hope she had a happy birthday. She evidently had a wonderful birthday. They went kayaking down I don't know if it was a lagoon or what, but she said they got to see alligators and all kinds of stuff. I saw a documentary today about 4 kids getting sick from an Amboa. I can't pronounce it. I had never heard of this. The 2 who passed had both died within hours of swimming in dirty water. Amoeba? I don't know how to pronounce that, and I've never heard of it either. Did y'all? I ran across the story the other day, or yesterday, guys, or day before yesterday, about a woman. Her name, oh, what was her name? Clancy's her last name. I can't think of her first name. But where she took the life of her 3 children and then jumped out of a 2-story window to try to unalive herself. That happened in January, and they're still waiting to see if they even want to take her to trial. Amoeba. Okay. Thank you. But anyways, getting back to the Summerwells. Do y'all think that Candus told the truth to LE as far as Summer walking away? See, if she'd have told the truth to all of us out here making speculations and trying to come up with theories and whatever, instead of just telling us that she vanished into thin air out of the basement, things might be a little different. No, it wasn't Abby Clancy. I forget what her name was. Hang on a second. But if she had told the truth to all of us, things would be sitting a whole lot different between her and Dawn. Maybe, anyways, I believe they would be. And then old Tim Mullins wants to run everybody down for trying to get the story out there. Which is, I did a lot of research and reading and studying last night. And trust me, I never did really find out what supposedly a media manager is actually supposed to do, except for one of them is public relations. And in that public relations job, they are actually supposed to get up there in front of the cameras for the parents or for the family and speak to the public in place of the family if the family isn't able to. And obviously, Tim Mullins is not holding up his part of, or his end of the deal. Or if he is, or if he thinks he is, he's not doing a very good job of it. Know what I mean? Well, I was trying to find that woman's name, but I can't seem to find it. Huh. Nope, I don't see it. Anyways, but he's not doing that at all. What kind of job is he doing for them anyways? What does he do for them? Because a media manager's position is to help get the story out there, not try to stifle the people that are actually trying to get the child's name and story and everything out there. And it don't seem to me like he's doing much of anything to help them. I try not to think the worst, but everything pops in my head. Right? Mine too, sweetheart. By the way, guys, I normally don't say this, but I'm going to say this now. If anybody sees innocent until proven guilty in here, I want any mod that's in here to boot them, block them. I don't care. If anybody else sees them in here, please let me or a moderator know so they can be blocked. I do not want that person in here. Discovering it awful, but I remember Candus saying Summer's friend went home as Summer was ill. Right? He's probably a gatekeeper. He is hurting them. He really is, because he is turning. Yes, Lindsay Clancy. That's it. Thank you, May. He is turning, for the people that aren't totally, completely against them, he's turning those people against them with his wonderful job. I mean, come on. If he's such a wonderful media manager, why doesn't he have other clients besides Dawn and Candus? I mean, think about it, guys. And he's not doing a very good job for them, so I don't think he's going to be getting any other media manager jobs anytime soon. Not with, if they look on basically a resume, which is the case of Dawn and Candus. He's not trying to spin them in a positive light whatsoever. All he does is sit around and make idle threats and leading comments to make people believe stuff that could or could not be true. He seems to be a distraction. Now, I forget who it was, but somebody told me that him coming out with all those threats and stuff was because things were starting to heat up around Dawn and Candus, I guess, where she's on Daisy's channel and all that. And he's trying to distract the story again away from them and get everybody mad at him and get him, get their focus on him instead of on Dawn and Candus. And that's a really good possibility. Hello to everybody I've not said hello to. He runs narratives and distractions, only my observations. No, that's true. He really does. And he is not, I'm telling you guys, I read for probably 2 hours last night on stuff that a media manager is supposed to do for a family of a missing child. And he has done none of it. I mean, literally none of it. They're supposed to be out there getting hold of TV stations, setting up interviews with the nationwide, like the Dr. Phil show, like Steve Wilkos, all those. Any kind of nationwide TV system. He's supposed to be setting up interviews with local TV stations. And it seems to me like the only thing Tim Mullins is getting done is trying to threaten YouTubers, which are the only people that are keeping Summer's name out there. Now, does that not say something to you? That he's trying to warn off the only people that are really getting Summer's name out there? There are people who truly want Summer found and people who truly don't. Narrow them down and we may get closer to the truth. Exactly. Hello, Charlotte. Marianne, hello. Country woman, hello. Melissa Olson, hello, everybody. There was not really a big, this is what this is going to be about today, other than the fact of, could it truly be that Candus really did just lie to everybody about where Summer was when she went missing? And if so, why would she lie about where her child was at? Unless somebody gave her the narrative to do that. But at that time, Tim Mullins wasn't even in the picture yet. So who would have told Candus to lie about where the child was at when she went missing? And the reason I say somebody told her to lie is because if she told the truth about, oh, well, she was just wandering off somewhere and I didn't have a clue, I was really inside, like she does say in my video, she says, if I'd only walked out there with her, if I had only walked out there with her, I feel so responsible. And then later on, it says that she had told the news reporter, WJHL, that she was inside and Summer was outside, and she walked out to check on Summer, and Summer was gone. And then if you go back to the first one, it says, if I had only walked out there with her. So do you think maybe she was saying, oh, she feels guilty because she let Summer go by herself and then she disappeared? And knowing how that was going to make her look, that's why they changed the story, saying that she was actually inside. Media managers for the McCains was there to control what comes out in the media and protect the parents. It seems TM is doing exactly the same. I don't think so. Do you really think he's protecting them? He's causing people to go after them even harder than what they already are. I don't understand how 3 boys, 1 mother, 1 grandmother, plus a friend, his mother, and another grandmother all saw Summer, but nobody saw her vanish. One of those people know what happened to her. I agree. Of course, Allie, Hunter, and Cassandra great grandmother wouldn't have seen her disappear if she really disappeared from the property. I will have to do a replay on what I missed. He's neither an attorney, judge, jury, L.E., TBI, L.E., or God. Who isn't? Oh, Tim. Yeah. More than one of them, in my opinion, allegedly. All I've seen Tim do is give us tours of Kingsport and threaten people. Exactly. And tell us how crazy we are. Tim is protecting his own best interest. And I could understand that if he honestly thought he was going to be getting a job as a real media manager somewhere, but he's doing such a horrible, horrible job with Don and Candus's case. You really think anybody else out here, in their right mind, that is, would hire him? Take a hard look, guys, at Don and Candus's case and how it has went on in the media, which has been hardly any media coverage whatsoever by local TV stations, nationwide TV stations. And look at the bad outlook on YouTube they have. Do you really think another set of parents of a missing child would want that for their child's case? I don't. And if he couldn't get hired as a media manager, how would it be for his best interest? Because evidently he thinks that's his job or his career. I'm not sure what he thinks. This was a group effort, in my opinion, allegedly. That could have been. And talk about how much he likes Robin and her fresh baked bread. And in my opinion, his talk just as much, if not more, about Robin. Well, in my opinion, I've never heard him actually get out here and do any kind of talking about Summer. And as in trying to get her name out in the public or anything. He types a lot of stuff on Facebook and stuff. But has anybody ever saw him actually get out here and speak? In recent times, guys, not on camera years and years ago. I mean, he was at one of the vigils, and when Robin starts to say something about him being the media manager, he puts up his finger and tells everybody, shh, don't tell nobody. What's he ashamed of? He should advise them to get a job, not make them, but advise them. I have mixed feelings about grandkids. I would like to think that she wouldn't put her daughter through what she went through with Rose. I would like to think she would protect her granddaughter. I would like to think that too. Doesn't the timing seem odd? that at the exact moment Summer came up missing, Candus was supposedly doing something where she couldn't see or hear her. Well, that's just like it talks about. I was listening over that too, where she talks about the scream, and she's talking about how her neighbor heard the scream, but at the exact moment that her neighbor heard the scream, she was actually inside with the boys looking for Summer. Well, how does she know where she was? I mean, it's not like, I know I've went over this before, and I know Jody Sue gives an approximate time of the scream. I found that out. But Candus don't know exactly what minute, second that Jody Sue heard that scream. So how does she know where she was at that moment, that second that the scream supposedly happened? How does she know she was inside with the boys? Unless she had been in there for a while and had let Summer outside and didn't go out there with her. And that's when the baby got gone. I'd love to get an interview with the Wells. I wouldn't hold back. I'd hit them with straight questions and not allow them to deviate. Me too, honey. On the day, Candus drove 30 minutes to a garage gas station and spent time there. What the hell? I'm not buying it. They would just lose signal. Yeah, I went over that the other day. I don't buy them just losing signal. They sure didn't lose it when he was on the toilet or any other time. They evidently didn't lose it while Candus was running up and down the holler to the end of the holler and down to the church. They never lost signal then. And Dawn can't seem to explain why. So why the shit do they lose signal when they're trying to do interviews and get asked questions? I think he likes the attention he's received. He's done absolutely nothing for Summer. He hasn't. He really hasn't done anything, in my opinion. He's done a lot, but like I said, none of it has benefited Summer whatsoever. And if you think about it, none of it has actually benefited the Wells in any kind of form, fashion, or way. Jody Sue is not reliable enough either. Well, I wasn't saying she was, but I would do it face to face, so Wi-Fi wasn't a problem. Yeah, exactly. Jody has been talking in circles since Summer went missing. I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. That's because she likes the attention also, guys. She don't really have nothing to say. She just likes the attention and the money that comes off her YouTube channel. Charlotte, not reliable witness. They have it on video, and the gas guy swears she did. Wonder what she was doing. I must have missed part of that conversation. I tried watching JSB when she first started her channel, but I just can't watch her. But why has she inserted herself so much? Because she loves the attention. Because she sat up on that hill, raising 2 kids, not having a way to go and all that crap, and having to listen to a guy that thought he was master and king of the hill. I guess, guys, I have a copy of the text messages between Andy and Jody Sue, and I know this really don't have anything to do with Summer getting gone. But I'm telling you, I have copies of the text messages between Jody Sue and Andy, where Jody Sue tells him about him hitting her and hitting their 2 children, like physically hitting them. And he tells her, I know what I've done. You don't have to tell me. But he says he's leaving, and her nor the kids would ever have to worry about him again. Grand jury, in my opinion, premeditation. Hunter was set up and placed there on purpose, so was Dobbs. Mitigation circumstances come into play. post also represents future behavior. They have gone through so many different stories and scenarios to purposely make a mess of Summer's case. I believe that too. I tried. Oh, we already went over that. But I mean, I really do think that's why Jody Sue, and she keeps on, because people are actually sitting there and watching and listening to what she has to say. And then once she figured out they're going to sit there and listen, whether she says anything or not, why bother even trying to make it interesting? She can sit there and just look stupid, and people are going to sit there and watch her, and she's going to make money off of it. I mean, why else? Why not do it? I don't know what to believe anymore. People on Ben Hill aren't saying anything. If they do, no. I think Ellie should give an update as they said it would not be a cold case. It is already. Yeah, that I don't think they're going to be as faithful to their word as they say they are. I believe they're going to give up looking for her if they haven't already. They're not going to spend any extra time or money or manpower. I just dropped by to say hello, Nana. Well, hello, sweetheart. Catch up later. Everyone, enjoy your day. Stay strong. Well, thank you, Marion, for stopping by, sweetheart. It is so sad. I'm so afraid we will never have answers for what happened to Summer. Me too, hon. One of her videos I tried to watch, she was asleep, and the chat just kept talking. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It don't matter what she does. People are still going to sit there and watch her. On the other hand, I work my tail off, and then, I don't got half the subscribers she's got. Jody Sue can't say everything she knows because of LE. Her and her children have been put through the ringer on YouTube. I really don't feel her or her kids had anything to do with Summer going missing. I do not either. That's my point. She literally is only up there because she's getting attention, not because she actually knows anything. If JSB had something intelligent to say, no one would understand her hillbilly drunk slurs. Not me, because I can't stand the thought of watching her. I learned enough about Jody Sue from the beginning, all I needed to know. I don't watch her either. I can't handle watching her. Let Dawn, Tim, and Candus sue everyone. They can force plaintiffs to testify in civil court. Hello, Blackwing. Hi, Nana. I hope you're well and your loved ones are well and happy. Much love. Blessed be. The fact Lawson was involved in a bad way is why Summer was treated this way, in my opinion. I'm sick of it. I almost have to agree on you. One of my video ideas was to compare, once again, compare the Carly Trent case and the Summer Wells case and the difference that Ronnie makes in both of them. It just kills me. Hello, Miss Lisa Renee. I've not seen you in forever. How are you doing? I hope you had a happy Easter too, sweetheart. Keep the faith. Yeah, thank you, McBro. Meanwhile, Summer's still missing. This is so upsetting. My heart is so broken. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. I truly believe that charges will be dropped by summertime. I hope so, but I doubt it. Please, guys, hit the thumbs up and subscribe for notifications when Nana goes live. Thank you, May May. It's also helpful for the algorithm. But guys, I mean, do you all really think that Summer was in the house or walking down the road when she got gone? Or do we even think that Candus even knows where she was at? I'm not making any kind of allegations, but I am asking the questions. Was Candus so intoxicated? And I don't know that she was, but I'm saying, could she have been so intoxicated that she literally has no clue where Summer may have been when Summer got gone? I mean, there literally are so many different stories about where Summer was at, where literally where she was located on the property or off the property when she got gone. Is there a chance that Candus really don't even know? She don't have a clue. And maybe that's why she said she lied to the YouTubers. And maybe that's why they put out a dang Amber Alert on Summer so quickly without all the things that you're supposed to have. I've even gone over the thought that was Summer taken for the reward money. Dawn and Candus hide her, then it all went wrong. I've gone through so many thoughts, but one sticks. What's that, Orange Jesus? Why no update on Summer case? Did police stop looking for her because there's no new tips? I think they just stopped giving updates because they just didn't want to give them, hun. In my opinion, I really believe that. They're tired of what they think are YouTubers butting in. They're tired of YouTubers doing their job. And if they don't give us nothing, it just pisses us off. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that the church RLDD are involved, in my opinion. CW done the drop-off. It was claimed Candus usually started drinking at 5 p.m. I think Candus was probably passed out and don't know what really happened. Possibility. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes, it is. Right. Got myself timed out again. How? Oh, on the farm. Okay, last night for saying, do you know what a moderator's job really is? I made the statement because the mods were pushing their opinions on their timing out people. Oh, wow. Well, you ought to have learned by now. You can't be doing stuff like that. Lord of mercy. How dare you say what's right and what's wrong? People in YouTube streets go along with their own silly ideas. If Candus smoked, passed out, and she may have fallen asleep and totally lost track of time and where the kids were. That's what I'm saying. It's a possibility. Hey, baby girl. I got blocked in the farm for saying justice for Summer. Oh, wow. Really? Jeez. I think they was waiting and waiting YouTuber to go away and take the heat off them. I do too. Good catch. Yes, the two stories are one Summer was in basement and the other story was she was last seen on Beach Creek Road. I believe Candus is responsible and Dawn and Grandis have helped cover for her because of the past issues. Yeah, I know Candus is a mod on the farm. Hell, now Candus is evidently a roommate on the farm. Come on, she's buying cases of Mountain Dews for Candus. Serving Candus Easter dinner, they have lost their minds. I did as well. Okay. Yeah, I tried to watch a little bit of it. I can't. It would be one thing if they'd have an actual discussion, but all that crap where people get up there and it's, oh, cute little Candus, and we're so proud of you, and we're this and we're that, and all they want to do is put people down, and I can't deal with that. I can't sit and listen to it. I can't. I won't. I don't have to. I can change the channel. That Dawn and Candus are involved. It's the Hunter situation, him being set up, the lies Candus told from the beginning. It mainly points to Candus with the pictures also of Summer. I used to be a pot smoker, and I would lose my cat. I couldn't remember if I let her outside or if she was in the house hiding. Well, honey, let me tell you something. I have never in my entire life ever used a timer when I was cooking. You set a timer on the stove. You watch everything meticulously when you're cooking or whatever. But a few years back when I was still smoking, I started burning stuff because I would forget that I was cooking it. Yeah. I started using timers real quick like. May, what is Mountain Dew? Oh, Lordy child. No, you can't say that. Mountain Dew is a soda. I don't know what you call it. A Coke, a soda pop. It's a carbonated drink, a carbonated sweet drink that two men out of Knoxville, Tennessee invented to chase moonshine with. And it became very popular. And now in Tennessee is one of the most preferred drinks in Tennessee now. Most everybody here drinks Mountain Dew like it is water. Seriously. Including myself. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. I've not been feeling good the last few days. I've been coughing my head off and sneezing, and I'm not blaming the parents, but they haven't been clear, so that in itself is very suspicious. Yep. You think? I'll watch clips. I can't support enabling by Moo. But the farm has always been against the Wells and eating Easter dinner. Jazz, come on. Lisa, have you not been around for a while? They are complete. Candus and Dawn, they back them 100%. They have never done anything wrong. They've never done anything to hurt Summer or any of the kids. And as a matter of fact, they are supporting them so much that they have to actually support Jody Sue and apologize to Jody Sue for anything that's ever been said against her. I just wish somebody would come out with some videos where they didn't feel that way and compare it the way they're talking now. The pictures Candus took of Summer, the hidden meanings, the milk jug, it's not a coincidence. I hate soda, LOL. It is so gross. It is not. It is not gross. I used to drink Mountain Dew until I got 7 kidney stones in one go. The doctor said stop, so I did. Well, TT, I had to go to Denver and have major surgery where you walk around for 2 weeks with hoses hanging out of you and they open up your back and all that because I had a kidney stone in there that was bigger than $50. And they wanted to go in and do the other kidney, but they tormented me so bad while I was having surgery on the first one, I couldn't do it. And I came back home to Tennessee. They tell me to stop drinking Mountain Dew too. I call it coddling. I can't with anyone who coddles grown adults who lost all their children. Well, I don't call it coddling. I call it belittling them, talking to them like they're a 7 or 8-year-old kid. That is, to me, putting Candus down, belittling her, acting like she doesn't have the mind of a grown woman with 7 children. That's why I can't stand watching it. Because they act like she's a little bitty kid and she has to be coddled. I don't know what all the words are that I'm thinking of. My mind's not clear right now, but I'm telling you, I can't watch it for that very reason, because I can't stand the way that they degrade her by the way they talk to her. Mountain Dew is carbonated meth, my dentist said. Mountain Dew will rot your teeth just like meth will. Oh, Lord. Bet your dentist ain't from East Tennessee, is he? The farm has turned a hard flip on summer. Yes, I agree. I honestly thought Jody Sue knew something, but C and D always seem to get the focus back on them, the parents. Mountain Dew and tea. Damn, spell check has no idea. You've never liked Mountain Dew, huh? I drink nothing but Mountain Dew Mountain Dew, Mountain Demand tea, and use 2 drinks, a lot of some Sundrop, and never had a kidney stone. Hello, Lisa. I know, it's like we love our Can. Oh, like they're talking to a little puppy or a little baby. She's so unintelligent that she has to be talked to like a little baby, because Candus can't understand anything else. Makes me sick. Candus is a grown-ass fucking woman, excuse my language, who can walk into a liquor store and buy alcoholic beverages, who can pick up a pew and hold it and have one in her name, who can get in a car and legally drive it down the dang road, who can walk into a hospital and give birth to at least 7 children, but yet she doesn't have common sense enough to understand simple English, where they don't have to speak to her like she's some little pet or some little kid running around. Yeah, y'all gonna get me started today. Lord of mercy. Is that why it's called Crazy Critters? Okay. Okay, I thought so. That's why I was asking to make sure. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that, Vanessa. I don't know what you're talking about, babe. I'm going to go back because Jody Sue always said she came here for a reason. Why did she turn on the parents? Jody Sue initially took up for Candus and Dawn and the Monster A. They are eating it all up, and that don't make no sense to me. My body can't handle the food coloring and the sugar-free water drinks. Oh. I'm so sorry for coughing in y'all's ears, guys. Candus told Daisy that she was having problems sleeping. She said she's having nightmares. The Chub Rub sisters shouldn't coddle suspects. I've never heard them referred that way. Candus is having nightmares because Summer is haunting her. You don't drink soda, Mama Mia? Lord, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my soda. I have to have my coffee and my Mountain Dew. And I mean, I love juices and milk and all that too, but my 90% of what I drink is coffee and Mountain Dew. Chub rub sisters. I hope every time she closes her eyes, she sees summer. Hello, Miss ICU. Oh, yeah, thank you. PG calls them that. Oh, okay. I feel like Summer has been victimized over and over again for the past 2 years by her family, certain YouTubers, and other people. She needs TBI and Card Team to step up and help her. Why did Tim video them searching after 1 year or more? That is nuts. I wondered that myself. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Got to have my coffee. I haven't drank soda in years. I'm sorry. Coffee and tea. Now in the summertime, I'll drink a lot of tea. And I mean, it's okay because you can drink tea and it's considered a clear liquid and it helps you. You know, it's good for your kidneys. The sisters used to bash DNC. Come on. I know, Lisa Renee. I know, honey. That's what I was saying. I wish somebody would grab a couple of clips where they used to do that and compare them to how they talk to Dawn and Candus now. Thank you, sweetheart. Tea is the best. Yes, sweet tea. Sweet southern tea. I can't take none of that northern tea. It's got to be sweet southern tea. I'm glad to see all of y'all in here. I would really like to know what y'all think, though. Do you guys think that Summer was inside that house or outside the house when she got gone? Somebody please tell me. Speaking of Mountain Dews, where'd it go? Nana Summer is the victim, not Candus. I know, honey. I agree with you. And it kills me when people act like they are. TBI and Card Team hasn't helped much. And in my opinion, they should bring U.S. Marshals in. They should have been there from the beginning, like Carly Trent's case. The Card Team was on scene the evening of June 15th. They said no sign of an abduction. I know. I still believe the brothers know a lot more than we have been led to believe. Obviously they do. So much goes through my mind, and I go back to the beginning. Summer's last known location was always not correct, and her color of clothes were changed. And the wrong description or pictures that were of her description was wrong. I think when they got home, she was asleep and Candus didn't want to wake her up. She got too hot, but I don't know. Really, sometimes I feel like she is still alive. Outside, because kids don't just vanish from a basement, right? I don't think she was back at the house, period. I believe she was outside, in my opinion, of course. I don't think she ever made it back home. Outside, and I think the boys are key. I keep going back to whether, and I'm not saying anybody did anything for a fact, but I keep going back to that statement of supposedly Candus screaming, "What have you done?" Now, they were talking on Doug's live stream yesterday. No thanks. That he was talking about if it was an accident. Some people believe it was an accident and a cover up and stuff. And the plain and simple fact is, yeah, it could have been an accident. But the moment that, and I don't believe the boys were involved in this part, the moment that baby's body was picked up, period. Not even took off the property, not moved, nothing. As soon as that baby's body was touched, picked up, it became a crime scene. The moment Ellie was not called or an ambulance was not called, it became a crime scene. Tell me any parent, when they see their child hurt, now granted, yes, they would run and grab them and pick them up and, hold them, but then they would scream and tell somebody to call 911, or they would do what they could for them. That's not what I mean. I mean, because the child's body, the ambulance was never called for. The child's body was never located. So obviously they picked it up to move it with the intention of moving it, with the intention of taking it somewhere else. If it was an accident, that's what happened. And that's not an accusation that I'm pulling out of thin air. If it was an accident, there's no other explanation because the child's body is not there. It has not been located. Nobody can find it. So if it was an accident, it's a crime. And not by any child, but by the adult who done it. I honestly believe they hid her before authorities got there because they were scared what would happen to them. Yeah, exactly. If she has not been handed off, then yeah, that's what I think. Discovering the truth. What's the biggest clue as to ICU? Just stated they have proof of life June 15th, but Ellie does not show proof or evidence of this baby being abducted. I think she was most likely outside. I really don't think the boys knew where she was because they were glued to the video games. I don't think Summer got out of the truck. Candus drove her to give her to Dawn. She knew someone who burned for... but I don't believe that. I don't believe that happened. I really don't. She never got out of the truck. I think it's going to be like Maddie McCain, and people will start coming forward in the future saying they are Summer. I'm Candus and Dawn's nightmares every night. Wow. I have thought of just about everything, even a large eagle carrying her away, LOL. Unless she was 20 pounds or less, it wasn't a bird of any kind. That's a true monster to move. Exactly, yeah, it is. Dolly said when he was walking up that side, and at some point the embankment turns into a drop-off cliff. He said if she fell, she would have passed because there's so much debris down there, down the embankment. That woman is a nut job. Which woman? Either Ellie messing with the real culprit not to clear anyone, or there are so many culprits around this baby's case, it's a shame. Yeah. But the thing about it is if they are messing with the real culprit, the real person that did it, isn't it a shame that LE, if that's what they're doing, the LE would be playing such games with something so important as the passing of a child? The boys seen her to help unload the groceries, but not again after that. Then she must have not come through the door unless they never said she helped them with the groceries, meaning no one other than Candus and DW. The dogs would have picked up on a decomp if she died on their property. And that's one reason why I think she was put in a vehicle and drove away alive and well. But guys, remember, think about this. And this is another, I mean, I've brought this point up before, but Doug brought it up yesterday. Think about it. They did not bring in cadaver dogs right away. Why would they have? They had no reason to believe that that child was anything except lost. They really did not. They thought this little girl had wandered off. And then throughout the night, whatever they found out, whether it be the 911 calls, which I believe is a big part of it, or the boys told them something that's not came out yet, something made them just decide that this child was in imminent danger other than just from the weather or the animals. Maybe the dogs are not trained well enough for them to pick up death so quickly. Some are mostly trained for decomp when it's been 24 to 72 hours. Now, looking back, they should have brought cadaver dogs to cover all bases, in my opinion. I don't know who of you have watched my videos, the ones in the beginning, but there was one I did about the bed of Grandis's truck, not the bed, but the tailgate part of it. And on the inside of the tailgate, there's like 10 little screws you can undo, and that panel comes off, and there's a cavity inside the tailgate. One that is big enough for a child that size to fit in. I'm not saying that's what happened to her. I'm saying this is a theory. But they could have wrapped okay, we're going to say a doll, okay? They could have wrapped a doll in plastic and fit it inside that tailgate. Put that panel back on that tailgate. Law enforcement show up. They could bring dogs. They're not bringing cadaver dogs because they think the child is just lost. They're not going to be focusing on the vehicles in the yard because obviously the child's not there. So she has wandered off. So they're sending the dogs out into the woods and up the road and stuff looking for a live living child that has wandered off. Does anybody know the first time that Grandis left that hill? Because if so, she could have drove anywhere, drove right past them cops. They're not looking for a doll that is no longer breathing. They're damn sure not looking in the tailgate or anything. She could have drove right past them, went and did something, and left it for somebody else to come pick up at a later point in time. I'm just saying. That's one of my videos that are out there. You ought to go check it out. I mean, how else, like I've said from the get-go, if we can figure out how she was removed from that hill, whether she was alive or not. If we can figure out how they got her off that hill, we'll figure out what happened to her. Good point. And here is my thing. Humans make mistakes, including Ellie. Can dogs not make mistakes as well at their job? I think they can be wrong or fail just like humans. Well, they can, hon. Dawn and Candus are being haunted by Summer because if she passed, she hasn't been put to rest. Purgatory. They are selfish. Hello, Care. Summer was unconscious and C&D thought she was passed, then there would be no scent. Exactly. The life they have lived and the choices they made is exactly why Summer is still missing. I believe Dawn has already said she's gone, but he hasn't said how. Dawn has said she's gone countless amount of times. That might be another video to do. Go gather up every time he has said she's gone. You know, and you know what I'm talking about. Fish food, a seer in the resurrection, and just count up how many times he has ever said that. I think I would have stopped every car. If I was Dawn and believed my child might be in every car coming from Ben Hill, I would have stopped, regardless of being arrested. Mary Jane, I think it is possible a bear could have done that before the dogs were brought out. If a bear had gotten a hold of her, honey, bears don't eat clothing. There would have been something. There would have been DNA, red DNA, if you know what I'm talking about, somewhere. I don't know why she went to St. Clair's. I don't know that that's even a factual statement. I know where the information come from, but I'm not going to say it's true because I didn't talk to the man. And we don't even know if the man was telling the truth at the gas station. If they don't necessarily think abduction, why keep the Amber Alert active? Once LE thinks a child is passed, they remove the... No, they do not. No, they do not. They have to actually have the child's body in hand, whether alive or passed. They have to physically have the child and be able to prove that it is the child before they drop the Amber Alert. Once the Amber Alert goes out. Human remains along with clothing have been found inside dead bears, but usually there are some clothing and other evidence left on the ground where the attack took place. Right. I just can't see 3 people being crafty enough to pass polygraphs or to keep their mouths shut that long. Guys, people have went to their graves knowing that they did something horribly, horribly wrong, because the alternative is, okay, they may not be smart enough, and this is just a theory here, guys, but a person may not be smart enough to outsmart somebody else, but they are smart enough to know they don't want to spend the rest of their life in prison. And it's gone on so long and has gotten so big now, it don't matter what may have happened. If they open their mouth now, they are definitely going to go to prison, whoever it is. Do you really think they would? Do you really think they're dumb enough to open their mouth now and go to prison? They may not be smart enough to outsmart everybody else, but they're not that dumb either. That's a good way to look at that. And as far as passing the polygraphs, as long as you have some kind of mind altering substance in your body, you can pass a polygraph. Any kind of a nerve pill, tranquilizer, anything like that, you can pass a polygraph. And it's not like they give you a blood test before they give it to you. So they don't have a clue. All they do is ask you, have you taken anything? Are you prescribed anything? And you say no, and they say okay, and they hook you up. And if you know you're going to take a lie detector test, you can very easily take something real quick. You know, something like for back muscle spasms and stuff. You know, we don't know anybody that was living on that hill would have had any of that medication, do we? Grandis. But they keep saying there is known cottage that Ellie has for proof of life on June 15th. Okay, I don't know who you're talking to, but exactly, they are terrified of prison. They don't have to be smart enough to outsmart somebody else. They just have to be so damn scared that they're going to go to prison that they keep their damn mouth shut. That's little Noelle, the baby missing from Texas. I don't either. That I think the closest we got was Ronnie Lawson when he was talking to Brian Enton, maybe. Ted Bundy passed a polygraph. Criminals know how to pass them. That's why they're not admissible in court. And let me tell you something, guys. A description of a narcissist believes that they are the be all end all of everything, okay? And everything they say is correct. And they are just the most wonderful person on earth, blah, blah, blah. We know from, well, our diagnosis, he's not been clinically diagnosed, but we know Don Wells is a narcissist. Now, maybe not Candus, but if Don Wells took a polygraph test and he honestly, wholeheartedly believed what he was saying was correct, oh, I'm not guilty because I loved my daughter. I only, I didn't do anything wrong. If he truly, honestly believed it, which is what narcissistic people do, you can pass a polygraph. It doesn't literally pick up whether you're telling a lie or whether you're not. It picks up on your nervous system and your sweat glands and how tense your muscles get. When you tell a lie, your heart rhythm speeds up. Your sweat glands start, sweating. Your muscles tense up. If you don't truly think that you're lying, none of that stuff's going to happen. And therefore, you're going to pass the polygraph test. Don doesn't love Summer as a father should have. I agree. In my opinion, I agree. Yep, he sure is, in my opinion. They are both emotionally detached addicts. Career criminals, in my opinion. List goes on. If certain meds can ensure that people pass polygraphs, wouldn't everyone pass them? I sure can't accept that 3 people passed polygraphs involved the same case. Well, does everybody that takes a polygraph test have access to a medication that can alter a polygraph test right before they go to take it? That's the question you should be asking. Not every person that has access or that has to go take a polygraph has access to a medicine bottle sitting on a shelf nearby when they know they've got to go take it. Don is a career criminal. He has been in and out of prison how many times? He is not stupid. By no means. He knows what to do. I feel like they might have already slipped and we don't know. Look how Letitia Stout told on herself in a way talking to AI or Al about Gannon's Al about Gannon could be by 195 and they found him. Dawn's not only street smart but prison. I think Grandma Candy the weak link. I think if she knows anything, hello Corey. I think if Grandis knows anything, which I do think she may know something. I don't think she helped them if they did anything. But I think that's why she's disappeared, is so that she don't have to talk. So she don't have to try to cover up what she knows. If she ain't there, they can't ask her no questions. Polygraphs are only as accurate as the person doing the test and the questions they ask. Twirling is a trigger word. That's all I could say. Hello, Carrie, if I didn't say hello to you, hon. Yeah, well, you're stupid if you keep doing the same thing to go to prison. Well, I didn't say he wasn't ignorant. Stupid. Okay, whichever one's which. Ignorant is, I think ignorant is you do something, you don't know any better and you do something. Stupid is if you know better and you still do it anyway. So you're right. Stupid could be that. Ignorant might be the word I was looking for. We're going to wake up one morning and it'll be on the news. Someone or several people arrested in Summerwell's case. We can only pray, honey. But Nana, Ellie has her number. Grandma Candy has had her own suspicions, but I believe if she knew, she would have already said something to Ellie, in my opinion. No. Why would she? Think, and this is just me talking, guys, me just running my mouth. Just like if it was an accident by a sibling, that, and I've said this before, that's the only thing that I could imagine that would even slightly come close to being a reason to cover it up, would be if it was an accident caused by another sibling. You've already lost one child. You don't want to lose another one. So you do what it takes to keep that child with you. Same with Grandis. She's already lost one child. Now she's lost a grandchild. You really think she's going to do anything to cause herself to lose yet another child? I don't think so. Although I can't imagine why people would put themselves in a position where they can go to jail, because if she don't tell and she knows, then her ass is going to jail too. I find it strange Grandis don't speak out about her daughter. What's being said? Stupid, ignorant. What's the look up the definition, honey, and you'll understand the difference. Ignorant is a person who loses their kids one after another. No, I think that might be stupid. Grandis is guilty as her daughter. The question about Grandis is why she wasn't allowed around the boys. But yeah, or even around when they were on the phone. That is a good question. Hang on, I'm looking something up. Okay. Okay, it says, although ignorance and stupidity are often used in similar ways, they have different nuances. Ignorance is simply the lack of knowledge, either in general or about a specific issue or topic. Stupidity refers to the lack of an ordinary level of intelligence, wit, or quickness of mind. So ignorance is when you really don't know something, and stupidity is when you know something and you do it any dang ways. Grandis has a black soul. Ignorance is not knowing, and stupid is the inability to learn. Grandis has abuse case and was ordered not to be around children. Do we know that for a fact, or is that just a rumor off YouTube? That's okay, honey. I'm just, sometimes I like to look up stuff. I like to know specifically what I'm talking about. Y'all, the clues to the answer be right there. Sometimes, like a red flag is a red flag. You can color it blue, but it's started as red. Wash the blue away and you still see red. Grandis and Don have guilty knowledge after the fact. They still go to prison because their silence is deafening. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Why people would stay quiet about something, because once it comes out, they're going to go to jail anyways. Did anyone listen to Kathy the Friends vid on Forensic Anthology? Great info. I am a bit skeptical, but we'll look at anything. Well, I started watching it a little bit only because when we were live the other day and that innocent until proven guilty was in here, and they kept running their mouth and making everybody mad and saying the things they were saying. Well, they jumped over on Kathy's live when we stopped and was trying to tell everybody over there that everybody here was being mean to her and attacking her. And we were saying awful things about Candus, and I was saying horrible things about Candus and Dawn. And that's why I do not want that person back in my chat. Plain and simple. I'm not going to have, it's one thing to have a separate opinion or a different opinion than what I have, but I'm not going to have somebody literally going and flat out lying about something I've said, something I've done, or the people in my chat. Long ago, stupid was used to describe mentally challenged people. Ignorant was used to describe uneducated. Okay. I truly believe Grandis should be taken in for questioning. Once that happens, she will sing like a canary. Either that or Candus will go to the police station and cause a fuss. That's the reason you left that day, is because of innocent until proven guilty. I'm only stating my opinion. Like I said, I may be as wrong as I can be. You're fine, hun. It's your opinion. It can't be wrong if it's your opinion. Well, thank you, Blackwing. Blackwing. Yeah, Blackwing. I don't know what I was thinking. They have just written Summer off because they know she's never coming back. Like she was so, they are protecting one another from going down, as Dawn told Candus. Yeah, all opinions are welcome here, but they were just trying to stir up drama. I agree. I haven't heard one thing yet on your channel being disrespectful, Nana. You actually give the parents respect, but they have been proven innocent. They haven't, but they have been proven innocent yet. That is a big red flag. They haven't been proven. Okay, you misspoke, but that's fine. Thank you, baby girl. I appreciate that. I try to give them respect, as in they are grown adults, and you don't have to talk to them like they're little itty bitty babies, and you don't have to cuss them out either. I mean, I give them as much respect as I possibly can. Somebody who has acted the way they've acted after they have a child that has went missing, and they are not doing all that I would expect them to do for them having a child missing. Stupid is as stupid does, huh, Forrest Gump? Where you at? To coin a phrase, yeah, stupid is as stupid does. Hopefully, if we can't find Summer before the 2-year mark, that Ellie will assign new investigators and re-interview everyone involved. At least that's my hopes. Yeah, good luck on that one. Candus, another sister, supposedly won't allow kids around Grandis. Candace's ex don't want Grandis around his kids either. No. I don't know how true, but I wouldn't be surprised. No, the Rose's kids, her ex-husband will not allow Grandis around their kids. Jeannie, Candace's middle sister, won't allow Grandis around her children. And for whatever reason, Grandis wasn't allowed to be around the phone while the boys were on the phone. They treat them like lapdogs. Yep. Miss Potty Mouth, we get trolled. Oh, I missed something, Corey. I'm not going to say I'm a goody two shoes, guys. I'm not going to say I'm golden. I do try to watch my mouth and try to watch what I say. There are times I get heated and I get mad and I get passionate and I cuss like a sailor. I don't disagree with that one at all. But I do try to show you all respect as far as how I talk, how I approach things. And I do try not to lead people in the wrong direction. I'm not trying to lead people anywhere. I'm just giving my 2 cents, like it says in my about section. I'm giving my 2 cents of what I think about each of these subjects that we talk about. And I guess if you can go to jail for having an opinion in the state of Tennessee, then one of these days I'll wind up going to jail for that, won't I? None, I still use that Forrest Gump quote on my kids, and it works every time. She asked if you get trolled. Okay. Well, like I've said 1,000 times, guys, I try not to bash other channels. Nana, can you give your opinion on Ziggy V's story about Grandis? Well, I have to say that my mother used to say when all these wild movie storylines would come out of nowhere, like the aliens and the different types of monsters and, the poisonous gases or the rampant diseases, that my mother would say they have to come up with those ideas from somewhere. So more than likely, there's at least a little bit of truth in everything. So do I think that Ziggy V had this long drawn out conversation with Grandis? Maybe not. Do I think she was in contact with Candus and that Candus said some of it? Yeah, I do. And I'm going to remind people, and I cannot think of the name of this channel, and I went through like last year and cleaned out my subscriptions, and for some stupid reason, I deleted this woman, or I unsubscribed to her, so I can't think of who it is. But back when, before Ziggy V and all that came out, there was a lady that had a channel, and I think she does mostly about her kids and how they're doing in school and stuff like that. But she was talking about this, and the story was that she told, and this was before all the Ziggy V's and all that came out about Candus, said that Candus had called some woman in Wisconsin and had told her that what happened, and this is hypothetical, guys, this is not fact, nothing like that. This is hearsay, like 3 times over. That the baby was going down the steps and fell and broke her neck. And that when Candus found her, they called Dawn, and Dawn said, "Do not touch the child. I will be there to fix it when I get, as soon as I can," something to that effect. And that's what Candus supposedly told a woman, I don't know what woman it was supposed to have been, in Wisconsin. Because that woman, who was supposed to have been a friend of Candus's, got a hold of this YouTuber. She's just a little bitty YouTuber. Like I said, she normally talks about her kids and how they're doing in school and stuff. But she was reporting on Summer's case. And they got a hold of her and told her, or let her listen to the phone call or something. And she reported on it. And that's what she said. You remember that, Lisa? I've not found anybody that remembers that. And I myself happen to think that's more likely what may have happened if there was a accident. Well, hello, Green Eyes. Would you like to jump up on panel? I will ask. Rose Myers, I don't think it was her. You think it was Rose that she was talking to? It may have been. Like I said, I don't remember the names, and I beat myself up all the time because I went through, like I said, and cleared out my subscriptions. I think the Wells hope we forget all the lies they tell. We have more information than the bloody police. And that's the truth. You remember that story too? Good. I'm glad I'm not the only person that remembers that. They were good friends, and she came to see Grant. Oh, I know who Rose Myers is. You had forgot about it until I mentioned it. Green Eyes, I'm going to drop the link if you would like to come up. There's a lot of people who would like to hear from you. I've often thought she's in Wisconsin after I found out the brother lives there, and a photo that was circulating of 2 little girls, but in the picture, the older girl has some kind of filter. Okay. Now, Miss Potty Mouth, I was supposedly, I'm staying back for now. Okay. I was in touch. The mother of that little girl did get a hold of me. She sent me like 6 different pictures of that little girl without the filter. I have seen that child. It wasn't Summer. She does look like Summer, but it wasn't Summer. I can't remember if she had really long dark hair. It was I'd say she was probably late 30s maybe, and she always sat at a desk. Is who the creator was, and I cannot remember her name to save my life. I remember her always talking about like what I think maybe her son was special ed or something, because she was always talking about what he was learning and stuff, and what they had in school for lunch and stuff like that. And that's, as a matter of fact, after she stopped talking about Summer so much, then she went back to her normal stuff. That's why I went ahead and unsubscribed, because I mean, I don't have a child school age or anything. So, I mean, it was of no interest to me. That who was from Kentucky? That Rose Myers was from Kentucky? Right, exactly. Yep, he needs to come up since how he knows all. I agree. Oh, I think I know who he is. I think I've seen his face before and heard his voice while he was talking, making a video. Oh, J is for Justice. I don't know, but I love her to death. I really do. And she's so pretty. Or in my opinion, I think she's pretty. It might be because I'm prejudiced or biased, I guess, for Native Americans. I wish this one YouTuber would come back that spoke out about Jose before we were even fully told who he was. That lady was ran off of YouTube. Oh no, I think I know who you're talking about. No, I don't know if we want her to come back. Her video might be in my liked videos. I don't know. Maybe I'll check and see. Okay, memorable nightmares. I didn't see that you said that. If you'll show me your face, I will drop the link for you. But you have to show me your face before you come up. Thank you, Discovering. I appreciate that. I dropped the link. I seen a past of it that Summer had fallen down the stairs and broken her neck in another channel. It was a man's channel. The person who posted it claimed to be Candace's mom. Seems weird that Green Eyes prefers to stay elusive. Maybe Green Eyes is Dawn. Who was she, Nana? I don't know, hon. Can you show me your... Okay, there you go. All right, babe. Hello.
Hello, will you look at your Facebook Messenger? I sent you something. It's under a different name. The first name starts with K.
Okay, my Nana's Angels Facebook or the other one?
Yes, Nana's Angels.
Okay, hang on a second, baby. It's going to take me a minute for it to open up. Okay. But I'm looking.
I sent you a post from yesterday on Tim Mullins.
I can't hear you, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sent you a post from yesterday on Tim's Mullins page.
Yeah.
There's something on that photo that I need you to read. I need to know what you think of it.
Okay, I'm waiting for it to boot up. My computer is so overwhelmed and it's just full. I've already had to delete videos and delete videos and delete videos off of it. So it takes it a minute for it to pull up. Guys, I'm not avoiding chat or not paying attention, should I say. Why are people hiding what they look like? Because, oh, are you talking about like people like Green Eyes? That I don't know. Why do normal people do it? Because there's so many crazies out there on YouTube. Okay. You said it's under another name, right?
Yeah. The name starts with K. K-A-Y.
Hang on. What else did you want to say, babe? Did you want to say anything or talk about a specific thing or?
Yeah, I kind of want to stay up here and ask you once you read it.
Okay, I'm still waiting on it to load.
Okay.
Sorry about this, guys.
There's
Takes my computer forever.
on the post, it's a photo, and on the post, it says, in 50 days, I did this.
You keep backing away from your microphone, hon. The post
I'm
says
sorry.
what?
In 50 days, you'll know why I did this. You'll understand why I did this. It says that on the photo. Now, I don't know if that came on the photo or if he's trying to tell us something, but in 50 days is May 29th. And that's 2 weeks before June 16th or 15th, I mean.
Huh.
And it kind of just creeped me out when I saw that. I was like, but that's what I just wondered what you all thought of that. And I'll jump down.
Okay, hon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Huh. Guys, I'm going to try to show this to you so that you know what she's talking about. We're going to try this. Hopefully it'll work. I hope you can see it. It won't zoom in. Huh. Could you see it? Dang it. Wow. Okay. Huh. I don't know what it's. Is it? It looks like it may be the tomb that Jesus was in before the resurrection. That's what it is. I don't know why he would be posting that. That's weird. That's really weird. Hang on a minute. I'm going to try to give you a better look at it. Okay. Window, entire screen. We'll do the entire screen. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I hope y'all can see it now. I don't know. I don't have a clue, sweetheart. But you said that was put out yesterday? Wonder if he has court on May 29th-ish. Well, now remember, they do have the court over the kids sometime in this month or next month one. There is no update, sweetheart. There's nothing. Tim Mullins posted it. Sorry, not sorry about my opinion of honey. You ain't gotta apologize for any opinion you have. Hello, Bluebello. Those dogs are not. They have bad and good days like everyone else does. Also, the handler has to be alert to what the dog is alerting to. There are many variables. Yeah, Tim Mullins posted it. Was it reported to Ellie or TBI about the accident? I don't know. I'm assuming it was reported way back when it came out. But we don't even know if it's true or not. But that's what supposedly Candus told somebody. Yeah, another mind game, more than likely. Hi, sweetheart. Your face is showing. You know that, right? Hi, sweetheart. How are you today, babe? Your face is showing. You know that, right?
Off to a camera. How's that?
Hi, sweetheart. How are you today, babe?
I'm very well, thank you.
Off to a camera. I'm not buying it, hun. You've got an echo real bad. Do you have another program running? Off to a camera. I'm not buying it, hun. You've got an echo real bad. Do you have?
On a moment, lovely.
I'm not buying it, hun. You've got an echo real bad. Do you have?
How's that? On a moment, lovely.
Okay. Did we get it fixed? Are you there? Oh, I think she turned something off. Nana, Google what happens in 50 days after Jesus rose from the grave. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm looking. What happened 50 days after Jesus rose from the grave?
According to Reporter Times, Jesus was crucified at Passover time, and he ascended 40 days after his resurrection. The Holy Spirit came 50 days after the resurrection, 10 days after the ascension. Jews of many nations had gathered in Jerusalem to celebrate the festival. When the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place.
Oh, did y'all hear that? In case you didn't, I'm going to reread it. It says, Jesus was crucified at Passover time, and he ascended 40 days after his resurrection. The Holy Spirit came 50 days after the resurrection. 10 days after the ascension, Jews of many nations had gathered in Jerusalem to celebrate the festival. When the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place. God's power was revealed at Pentecost, Reporter Times says. 50 days after his resurrection. Sunday the 30th of May, AD 32, or Sunday the 24th May, AD 33, most likely dates. The date of Pentecost of Shavuot, the late spring Thanksgiving for the first harvest time frame. This is making absolutely no sense. Background reading, the coming of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. When the day of Pentecost was being celebrated, all of them were together in one place. 2, suddenly a sound like the roar of a mighty windstorm came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw tongues like flames of fire that separated, and one rested on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in foreign languages as the Spirit gave them that ability. Now, devout Jews from every nation on earth were living in Jerusalem. When that sound came, a crowd quickly gathered, startled because each one heard the disciples speaking in his own language. Stunned and amazed, they asked, all of these people who are speaking are, I know that word and I can't think of it, aren't they? I can't, Galatians, I don't know. So how is it that each one of us hears them speaking in his own native language? So, I mean, nothing that would point to anything about summer. All of them continued to be stunned and puzzled, and they kept asking one another, what can this mean? But others kept saying in diversion, they're drunk on sweet wine. I don't know, guys. Just another one of his tactics to get people's attention, I guess. Get their minds off of Dawn and Candus. At Nightmares, you didn't upset us. We didn't understand you. This is about Summer Wells. I'm not buying it. I'm so sorry, hon. You're more than welcome to come back up if you want. You just have to make sure and turn off other, like if you're playing YouTube on your TV or your computer or something, you have to turn it off when you come up or else it'll echo. No, nothing to do with that. He is a distractor and an attention whore. Yes, I sure will, hon. I dropped it, sweetheart. Nana Tim Mullen needs looking into. He is playing mind games to hide the truth about what has happened to Summer. Okay, sweetie. Don't Tim have a farm bam to care for? Oh, a fam bam to care for? I don't know. Yeah, it would help. Anything, or like if it's playing somewhere, if you want to just turn it down, because you'll still be able, me and you'll be able to hear each other. It's just it won't be echoing. Here, I'll drop that link again for you, sweetie. Nana, I love that term, attention whore, and I use it all the time, LOL. Who paid for the house to be done? Okay, sweetheart. I'm waiting on you. They are hiding behind God and the church hiding their sins. Hey, sweetie.
Hello.
Hello. You don't have to turn your camera off if you don't want to. It's just some people.
I'm quite happy to sit with my camera on. I know that some channels. Hi, lovely. Hi.
Oh no, I don't mind. It's whatever you're comfortable with, sweetheart.
I'm happy to sit here with my camera on, but
Okay.
I know that some channels don't like your camera on because some people are being a bit explosive. God.
Right. So tell us what you think, sweetheart.
I think if the video, hang on, let me just turn my TV down a little bit more. Hold on, because I'm getting an echo myself now. I think that if the video of the baby in the back of the car, stomped against the milk jugs, is for real on the 15th of June, then that would be where I would start. That would be my premise. This baby's asleep. And mum goes, oh, look at her. She's asleep. Bless her. Doesn't she look cute? We've all been there. We've all done those type of photographs. I've got millions of them, of my kids and my grandkids.
Right.
And I think, and I've been guilty of leaving my child, my eldest, in the back of the car when I got home, unloaded the boot, packed all the food in the bloody freezer and packed all the shopping away. And I was pulled up when I was 27 years old by a neighbour who said, he knocked on my door and said, what the fuck are you doing? And I went, what? He went, why's your child asleep in the car? And I went, well, she's asleep. What's it got to do with you? And he went, you don't know if you got a petrol leak and your kid's asleep in that car. Why have you done that? And I was 27 and it really pulled me up. And I never, before that, you know what it's like. You go, oh, bless, they're asleep. I just want to pack the shopping away, just want a bit of spare time. Baby's asleep, leave it in the car. And it was my neighbour who said, don't ever do that. And that was, well, I'm 62 this year. So, it was a million years ago. And it really pulled me up. And I thought, do you know what? He's absolutely bloody right. I could have a bloody petrol leak on a hot exhaust pipe.
Exactly. Or you could be like mine was. I had two of them in the car. One was a year old, one was 2 years old, 2.5, and they were both asleep. And I jumped out of the car. My mom got out of the car. I was just running in to grab a basket full of her dirty clothes because I was going to the laundromat. And by the time I got up to the upstairs, I looked out the bedroom window, seen that they had woke up, and my oldest one, he's a genius. He had gotten out of his car seat, let his brother out of the car seat, got into the front seat of the car. My second one turned the switch, not on, but he turned it to where it unlocked the steering wheel and the gear shifter. And my oldest one grabbed the gear shifter and pulled it down. And they broke the side of a barn before I could get back down there. I chased the car all the way down the driveway, and it rams into a side of a barn. My kids were not hurt, but that was the last time I ever left my kids in a car by themselves, period. Whether they were asleep, awake, it don't matter.
The thing is, though, Nana, every day's a school day. I'm 62 this year, and every day is a school day. As much as your listeners are going, yeah, nodding their heads, going, yeah, I learned something new today. We all learn something new. And sometimes it takes somebody to just stop us in our tracks and say, hang on a moment, you shouldn't be doing that. And you go, oh, what's it of your business? Well, no, it is their business because, you know, it's safety, you
Right.
know, and I'll tell you what I think. And I know a lot of people, and I'm not decrying what they say. I'm not saying, oh, I know better. I think that if that video that we've all been, you know, had rammed down our throats of Summer asleep on those pints of milk, I would say if that is true depiction of that day, I would say probably they got home, well, the kids asleep. We've all done it. Let us sleep. I've got to unload the shopping. What was that? The load of shopping that the kids had to come and help out with, or the few bits that she bought. Even there's a discrepancy. You know, I mean, you either bought a fucking whole load of shopping or you didn't, Candus. Yeah. Which is it? But I believe that they drove home, the kid was asleep, and I don't, when I say the kid, I don't mean that disrespectfully, folks. Okay, that's just the way. Okay, you know, I think someone was asleep and she drove up the driveway and just went, oh, she's asleep. Closed the doors, didn't even think. And I'm not blaming the woman. We've all been there, but she probably didn't think, oh, I better run down the window to let some fresh air. She probably didn't even think. It was a case of get home. The boys came running out of the house. Oh, Mum's home. Yeah. What have you got us? Got us some sweets. Or in your case, got us some candy.
Right.
And she went, oh, get away, oh, for Christ's sake, let me get out of the bloody car, for God's sake, before you start begging me for bloody candy. Oh, and she forgot. She closed the doors. Someone was asleep in the back. Didn't even think about her. And Grandma went into her camper, had a nap, as she is proclaimed publicly on news. She went, oh, I just went for a sleep. Well, she probably did, bless her.
Right.
When I say bless her, I mean, well, it's probably what she just normally did. If she'd been up from 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'd want to sleep. I'd want to, being with Candus, I'd want to snooze. I'd probably want to hang myself, but you know, okay, I'll settle for a snooze. And they all did their own thing. And I believe one of the kids, I think it was probably the eldest boy, and I'm not going to cast any stones. I'm not saying anything horrible about those little boys. But I think one of them went out and went, shit. Oh, Mum, Summer's in the car. Ah, and they all panicked.
Right.
And that is what I think. That's not gospel. That's not the truth. That's not what happened. But I think I can see that happening. Does that make sense, lovely?
And that would be an accident. And at that point, you should call 911, get an ambulance up there, get a law enforcement officer up there, get somebody up there. But when that didn't happen.
Yeah, but the reason it didn't happen, the reason, Nana, that it didn't happen is because you have to remember that Candus and Don had already had a minimum of 4 children taken away from them. And they'd already, so we know, got social services on their backs. You call it CPS. Here we call it social services. You know, I call them child abductors. But they'd already got CPS on their backs, and they're like, oh, shit. If we call 911 and say, oh, bloody hell, can we have an ambulance? There's going to be pandemonium. breaking out left, right, and centre. They don't want it. They're going to go, shit. If we admit that our kid has been, we've neglected that to keep an eye on our child, and now it's dead. Fuck. The other 3 are going to be taken. I think CPS knew. I think the CPS know exactly what happened. I think FBI, TBI, Hawkins County. Those, you have to understand, Nana, and your audience, that because I'm in England, we don't have a FBI. Right, we don't have a federal. We should probably do. It's probably called Met Police, but they're about as useless as a chocolate fire guard. But I think. What I
was saying is, at that moment in time that they didn't call, then it became a crime.
Yes, of course it did. It became a crime. No, I think in the Wells's mind, it became a crime immediately that they went, oh shit, she's dead. And I do believe that little girl, and oh God, I'm going to cry, because I have to imagine, I have to try and imagine, how did that little girl come to her demise? And I think as a parent, going out and seeing your child asleep in a car, or leaving her asleep in the car, and the next thing, somebody alerting you that, oh my God, the bloody windows are rolled up, the child's slumped. I think Candus, and I didn't catch it, I've only heard it through Doug and Josh, and I probably didn't mention those channels on your channel, but we all watch the same thing. But she actually said something very recently when she said, Candus said, I don't want to go out and search, because if I go on a search and I come across her body, I won't be able to run to her and hug her and love on her. And I don't like that expression, love on her. And tell her that I'm sorry. Well, hang on a minute. Sorry, I'm sorry to say this to your audience, but we're all grown-ups here. If by chance you actually walked out of your house, if you ever did that, walked out of your house and stumbled across your daughter, she's not going to be a 5-year-old little girl. She's going to be a skeleton. Wake up. That's you smelling the coffee.
Right. That and her making the statement that it would mess up the crime scene.
Absolutely, it would mess up the crime scene. I mean, who would say that?
Right. I mean, if she wandered off into the woods, it's not a crime.
Exactly. Do you know, I'm going to tell you this, and for the sake of your viewers, and I fucked up one time. Okay, I had my granddaughter, and she was 2.5. We had a 3-acre property at the time, and we had 40 apple trees of various different types in part of our 3-acre, and that's the reason why we actually sold up and moved. We thought it was a good idea, but when we actually got it, we thought, oh my God, we're spending every bloody weekend clearing up this bloody Garden of Eden, but actually it's a garden of bloody hell. And I went indoors. Okay, I said to my husband, watch, this is my granddaughter, she was 2.5, she was brilliant. And I said to my husband, watch Paris, just going to go in and get the video camera because I've got to capture this. And our house was 3 stories high, and I ran across the orchard and across the rose garden, went into the house, up 3 flights of stairs, got the video camera, came back, and I said to my husband, oh, where's PJ? He went, what? He's raking up crap. And I went, where's PJ? He went, I thought she was. I said, I told you to look after her. Where the fuck is she? We got 3 acres. It's not 11 acres like the Wells have got, but I had 3 acres. I was frantic. I'm calling PJ, where are you, PJ? I'm going, Paul, go down the road, go down the drive, make sure she's not. She was running after me. I eventually, after about what seemed like 15 years, I walked out the back door and she's sitting on the back doorstep going, "Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool?" I'm like, I can't believe it. I went, what? I went, I found her. And but it just goes to show how quickly a child can go missing. And I get it. I would say to Candus, I get it. Don't give me the bullshit that within 2 minutes, I get it if you turned your back and you went in the house, you left her out in the garden to play on her swing. I've been there. And that, I can tell you and your audience that I know what it's like to go, oh, bless, doesn't she look sweet? Let me just go in the house and get the camera. By the time you come out, you go, where the fuck is she? We've all been there. We've all done it. Oh, I'm not saying all, but a lot of us have been there and done it and lost a child in an instant. You go round the supermarket. I lost my eldest son in Superdrug. I was looking at the mascara and I'm like, I thought you were by my side. Where the hell's my son? You know, and we've all done it. Kids are Houdinis.
Yeah. Blackwing, would you like to come up, hon?
Pardon?
Oh, I was talking to Blackwing.
Oh, sorry, lovely.
No, you're fine. I was just asking her if she wanted to come up or if they wanted to come up. I'm assuming she. I've never really asked.
I love you, Nana. I love listening to you. I love your voice.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that.
I do. I love that southern accent.
Well, thank you. I actually like your accent as well. I really do.
Oh, it's southern England.
I don't know how many people are gonna have something to say about this, but my father and my grandmother had a maid and a butler that lived they were from England and they still held residency over there, but they came over here and spent 6 months out of the year. And that was the first English people I'd ever met, or whatever. I don't know the correct term, but I fell in love with the accent when I met them. Jack and Violet, they were like an aunt and uncle to me, and I loved them to death.
I think it's probably a case of diametrically opposites attract.
Right.
Anyway, lovely. I love your show.
Well, thank you.
I love your voice, and I love all of your subscribers, because I see them on lots of other channels, and it's good to see all of them. And hi, everybody. They see me on other people's, but I don't always get a lot of time to actually comment on certain things. I have to go on the catch up, and I put a comment afterwards and go, oh, it probably won't be seen. But you know, I love you. I love Brooks. Love Josh. I think he's great. Josh Diaz.
Yeah.
I think we're all trying to find the truth. We're all just trying to find the truth of what happened to this little girl. And I think we have to put ourselves, and like I've said, I'm not trying to say that I'm right. Of course I'm not right. I wasn't there that day. But I can only imagine and put myself in a scenario where what would have happened with me.
Right.
You know, and like I said at the beginning, you know, when my neighbour came out and absolutely berated me. I mean, we're still friends even today, but when I pulled up on the drive and he came out and said to me, "For fuck's sake, what are you doing? You don't know if you got a bloody petrol leak or that could spark off a bloody ignition. Don't ever leave your kid in a car."
Right.
And obviously the car didn't ignite with the Wells's case, but you leave a child in a car, go off, put some groceries away, do a bit of laundry, check on the kid. Oh yeah, she's still asleep. No, she's not asleep, mate. She's dead.
Right.
Actually. And I'm sorry to be the voice of maybe that's what happened. And I just wish, for fuck's sake, Candus Wells or Blyer, that you would just open your mouth and just say, "I'm really sorry, but this is what happened." And
Right.
I panicked, I froze. Because I've lost other children, I was frightened of losing my boys. But this is what happened. Just have the guts, Candice, to fucking open your mouth and just say what happened.
Exactly.
I've got to go because I've got to go because my phone's just told me I'm on 3% volume.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, sweetheart. We love you too.
I love you much. Love you much, Lee. Love all you subscribers. Love all you, everybody. You're great people.
You have a wonderful day, sweetheart.
You too. Happy Easter. What's
Happy
left
Easter.
of it.
Bye, sweetie.
Mwah.
Second to no one says, if there was an accident, they just need to stop this madness and tell the truth. End it so Summer can be found and put to rest respectively. I agree 100%, hon. And I mean, there's not the only other thing. I honestly and truly do not believe it was an abduction. I do not see how it could have been. As y'all seen on that video I played the other day that Chasing Truth filmed, you can't even tell there is a house anywhere near the road. Yes, there's a driveway, but that driveway could be 2-3 miles long up into the mountains. Nobody is going to take the chance on walking up through those woods, not knowing how far it's going to be before you even get to a house, and not know what you're going to find when you get to that house. Sweetheart, I read what you said, and I'm sorry about that. But you should feel that you can say what you feel, what you think, your theories over here. Yeah, nobody stole Summer. I do not believe that one bit. And I honestly and truly believe if she had wandered off into the woods, somebody would have found something by this time. They would have found bones. They would have found clothing. They would have found DNA evidence. They would have found something. So it either one of three things. Either they did it and did away with the remains, or it was an accident, and when they moved the body, it was a crime, or they handed her off to somebody else. Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm good. I do have theories, but I feel like every time I put out a theory, people are like, that couldn't happen, that didn't happen, and then I feel stupid for putting it out there.
Don't
I have
feel
several
stupid.
theories.
Well, let's hear them.
Okay. If we look at the timeline, I think maybe Candus and Hunter were doing something in the house and Summer walked in on them.
Yeah.
And Candus lost it and hurt her and didn't mean to, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they had to cover it up. But they didn't tell Dawn that Hunter was there. And they had to put a story together. That's why it took the 45 minutes, 2 hours, wherever the timeline had a missing place. And they had to get Hunter back home so it didn't look like he was there. And maybe that's why Dawn pulled that boy aside, because he really wanted to know what happened, and that boy knew.
Right.
You know, but because I don't think Dawn did anything except help cover it up.
Right.
Because he's being told a timeline. Okay, if they had to take Hunter out of the equation so Dawn wouldn't get mad at Candus for Hunter being there, right? And then
Right.
make it look like, and come up with a story to make it look like she went missing or they couldn't find her. But then didn't Candus leave before she
twice.
called Dawn? Okay.
Twice, evidently.
You're from Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there
Yes, ma'am.
swampy or murky water anywhere near Bays Mountain? Like on the ground?
That I'm not sure of, but I don't believe so. We
Okay.
normally don't have like swampy or murky. We have lakes and ponds and stuff like that, but it's normally like fed through an underground spring, stuff like that. So it keeps the
Okay.
water pretty clear.
Okay. So I know where I'm from, it'll rain so hard and so long that you'll get mud puddles.
Yeah.
And it'll look kind of like little tiny ponds. Could something be like that had happened on Bays Mountain? Because I feel like I always have felt like she is in water. Swampy water, murky water, or in some kind of marshy area where grass is and you wouldn't see anything but watery.
Right. I don't know if there's any kind of murky water near Bays Mountain or not, hon.
You know, like grass grew up through rainwater, a big puddle of rainwater. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like water settles somewhere, and there's a place where I live, and I'm just gonna say it. It's like where water drainage from rain goes into, and I call it a shit pit because it's gross looking. But I just wondered if something like that had happened, and that's where she was put, so she wouldn't be found easily.
Right.
You know, and over time, grass and brush and all kinds of stuff have grown up through there. But I've always felt like she's in water. She was hidden. That's what I've always felt like.
I don't know, sweetheart. I mean, I'm right now, I'm like an hour away, like 57 minutes away from that area. Now, last year I lived about 20 minutes away, but I've never technically ever been to Hawkins County.
Okay, I do know for a fact, because I researched it, that at 110 Ben Hill Road, if you go to somewhere near the fire tower there at Bays Mountain, that's only 17 minutes from their home.
Right.
And she had left twice that day, right?
Right.
So, I don't want to say it. Just try to follow me without me having to say it. Like 15 minutes one way, 15 minutes back. That's only 35 minutes.
Right. And that's how long she was supposedly gone, was 15 minutes.
Right. And this, the fire tower is only 17 minutes.
So that's a possibility.
You know, it sickens me to my core to think some of the things I think. It's, you know, and I made up my mind last night that I'm going to put my name as Memorable Nightmare, and every time I see her on a panel, I'm going to be in the chat and I'm going to talk to her.
Right.
Just so she looks at my name.
Because I just got a text message about what you were talking about. And this person says I don't think she was talking about actually up to the fire tower.
No,
But
no.
they said that it's a good hour's hike up to the fire tower.
I'm saying somewhere around it, not up
Yeah.
to it, not like right
Like
up on it.
murky water. Like murky
Yeah,
water, right?
like swamp water or like drainage water or something like that. Because she did say, and I saw a live one night where she was talking about, and it wasn't too long ago, about where that missing phone is. She said it's way up in a mountain where no one will find it. I listen to those little things,
Yeah.
you know. It's
You're not
somewhere.
local, are you?
No, but I've been there, and
Okay.
I'm only like, I'm gonna say 6 hours away from there.
Okay.
So I could go up there and look, but I'm not going to. I don't
Do
like
you
to drive.
remember what channel it was that she said that that phone was way up in the mountains?
No, she was on a live with somebody, or somebody played a phone call that she had talked to him. I'm not sure who it was,
Huh.
but it wasn't too long ago. Um, it might have been she was talking to Ernie.
Maybe. She sure talked to Ernie a lot.
Because she said, "Oh, no one will ever find it. It's up in a mountain that nobody knows about."
I've never heard anything about I've never heard her say anything about a phone that was up in the mountains.
I think it was that phone that everyone had a debacle over about that had it was Dawn's phone.
No.
Something.
Tim Mullins had it, and then when he gave it back to Candus, Candus says she gave it to the uppers.
Okay, maybe it was a phone she had then. I'm not sure with the conversation, but I did hear her say that she was talking to Ernie. Maybe did he buy her a phone?
Oh, I don't think so.
Did Ernie get her a new phone and she got rid of the other one or something? I don't know. But I did hear her say that.
Well, I mean, I know I don't doubt it, hon. I would just love to know, so I could hear it for myself, so I could discern what they were actually talking about or why she was saying it was up in the mountains, or
Right.
maybe find the location.
I don't think you don't believe me. Now I'm trying to figure it out myself. Where I
Well,
heard that at. I'm talking out loud to myself, like I'm trying to figure out where I heard that at. I didn't think that you didn't believe me.
Oh, okay. I was
I was
just
talking out
letting you
loud.
know.
Yeah, I understand. But I'll drop down but I have lots of theories. But that
Right.
was one of them. So
Well,
thank you for letting me come up.
You're more than welcome, honey. And anytime, you're more than welcome to email me. If you have a theory that you're just stuck on, or you want us to check out, or whatever, you're more than welcome to email it to me, and I'll look into it, or me and you can look into it, or I'll have somebody else look into it, something. Because nothing,
Yeah.
I mean, as Ronnie Lawson keeps saying, and I hate to quote Ronnie Lawson, they ain't nothing off the table.
Right. And I just try to listen to little things that most people wouldn't hear. Like I try to listen real close.
Right.
But, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome, sweetheart. You have a great day, hon.
You too. Bye.
Bye, hon. Would anybody else like to come up? You're more than welcome to. Let's see, what do we got here? I believe Summer was moved 4 times. First time was in water to my visions, then in a cave in a mountain. I'm from the UK, but have seen a lot too much. Oh, wow. Summer has been moved, I believe, 3 times. I believe the first was on unmarked grave near a river or ravine. The second, I believe her body was buried with 2 dogs. And the third time, I believe, near a tower. And you're almost in the UK. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies. Candus tosses phones a lot. Yeah, she threw out one of hers in the back of the truck, didn't she? So she could grab her mom's. Because one phone ain't good enough. You have to use two because not all phones can call 911 even when there's no service around. Ain't that the stupidest thing y'all have ever heard of? Even a house phone, if there's no service in the house for the house phone, you can pick up a dead phone and dial 911 and it goes through. You believe Summer was abducted? Can I ask you why you believe that? I'm not arguing with you. I'm just curious. Dee was very confident in saying that there is no evidence of Summer around their place to be found. Yeah, why would she say that about the phone? That makes her sound more than suspicious. Yeah, it does. Crazy, crazy. I know it was all a lie hearing her tell us that story. Good business for phone company. Candus constantly buying one. Yeah. Sounds like everybody loses phones a lot. From Sherfy Jr., Jose, Candus. That's just the ones we know about, right? Exactly. The card team read the scene and they said no abduction. But I'm willing to hear anybody just because there's no evidence of her. Well, honey, just because there's no evidence of her doesn't mean anything. I mean, they could have literally handed her off to somebody else and there would be no evidence of her. Hello, Dawn. Another Dawn out here. All phone works to call emergency calls. 911 will work on any cell phone. Exactly. I've been preaching that from the get-go too. Hunter never got his phone back from LE either. Candus and Dawn would not be able to keep their story straight if they did it, okay? Listen, if it was either keep your mouth shut, they don't even have to keep the story straight. If they did something, they don't have to worry about keeping their story straight because obviously they have already screwed that part up. Their stories have not been straight from the get-go. But they don't have to worry about keeping their stories straight. They just have to keep their mouths shut. And do you think it would be that hard knowing that if they did something, they're going to go to prison if they don't keep their mouths shut? If it was a choice and me and I was going to go to prison or keep my mouth shut, I would keep my mouth shut. Dawn's ulcer is demand. Okay. Okay, guys, hang on one second. Don't go nowhere. Okay, guys. We got somebody jumping in here. Say hello to Don B.
But on the phone.
But on the phone.
So let me know if y'all can hear him. Let me know if they can hear me.
I will. Can y'all hear him? I see you. Can you hear Don?
Hello, test, 1, 2.
Well, I'm assuming they can because people are saying, oh, Lord.
Okay, Okay, so let's talk about the 911 phone call, being able to call it.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think anybody's ever confronted Candus with that question on why'd you grab your mom's when you do know that all phones can call 911, right?
Right. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything to her about that either.
So there's one question that somebody could ask her. And then here's a really, really, really good question that somebody could ask them.
What's that?
We're coming up on the 2-year mark, right?
Yeah.
If TBI does another press conference, will Dawn and Candus join the press conference?
Right.
So I'm putting it out there to anybody that interviews Dawn and Candus and anybody that listens to the people that interview Dawn and Candus. Take your little legs and walk over there to their channel and ask them if they'll be glad to join the press conference if they have one on June 15th, 2023.
Right. Broken Arrow says not all cell phones can. Mine couldn't. So, or it's not Broken Arrow, sorry, Broken Hearted says that their phone could not call 911. I've never heard tell of that. I have always, every phone, even if the phone don't have any service, people carry spare cell phones that don't work in their cars. So in case by chance they get in a wreck or something, they have a phone and they can dial 911 on it, even if it has no service and it hasn't had for years. Am I wrong?
I'll do a video on that, Lana.
All right.
I've got a Sprint phone that has no service on it, and there is no Sprint service out here where I'm at.
Right.
Sprint sucks. I don't know. I never can get signal on Sprint. So I'm going to do a video and see if I can call 911 on it.
Right.
And then if it does go through, I'll just tell them disregard, but dial.
Hey, ICU says, how did she call 911 all the other times? For 49 or 495,858 5 times. I said that wrong, but anyways, you get the picture.
Well, I mean, they got home Wi-Fi. You can do Wi-Fi calling, can't you?
Right. Yes, you can.
Does anybody understand that theory?
Yeah, they understand that theory. I don't know about your chat, but I have smart people in my chat, Don B. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just talking about YouTube in general.
Oh, okay.
You
got to remember, a lot of people in my chat are subscribers to your channel too. So
there's people out there that say someone in a deer blind was watching summer, could have been watching summer, and they have no idea about how people hunt in Appalachia. Because these are people like probably in Florida that are from the Bahamas that are commenting on stuff like that, and they're ignorant to the fact that in Tennessee it is absolutely legal to hunt just outside 100 yards of a living dwelling home.
Okay.
It is a federal, well, it's a state law, really.
So Lone Star Mama says no reception, but still makes TikTok videos. But that would go on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to do Wi-Fi calling.
I'm missing this conversation. Evidently, there's conversation going on in chat. I'm totally lost. If she has Messenger, she can dial out. Lone Star Mama says. I see you punching up your channel. She says, go subscribe to Don B.
Well, thank you. I see you. And pardon me if I'm a little cranky, guys.
You're breaking up.
I'm on some heavy cough medicine.
I'm catching up, quitting. I'm catching up.
Oh, sorry if I'm cranky. I'm just on some heavy cough medicine.
Why did Candus get a restraining order against which Dawn? Okay, seek care. The same reason everyone else is a suspect. I'm not picking. Just another point of view. That's all we ask. Just everybody's point of view is welcome. Oh, thank you. Quitting. YouTube says, I love Nana.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. They can hear you.
I mean, people just really forget the important part of the investigation for some reason. And the important part is, 110 Bend Hill Road was known for drugs, sex, and rock and roll. Even to the kids going up there. And I think that plays a lot into the investigation. And that's the reason why there's 3 kids right now being protected.
Wow, really? Seek care, thank you. My granddaughter is very beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Discovering has a question. Nana, does Don B ever post your link in his chat asking for a friend? Well, I don't know. I don't watch any of his lives.
She says that she don't need my help.
Oh, I don't know, but I can make sure. Hey, I see you. Does he ever ask you to post my link in his chat? Oh, you forget. Your mod is my mod too. Thank you, Discovering. I think Summer was in the house. That's Rhodes. Hello, wee Scottish Ma. Nana, how close to Don Sherfy is the Wells property? Where was Sherfy Jr. from? Okay, Sherfy Jr. lived in Sullivan County, which was what?
About an hour away.
An hour?
With traffic, yeah. I mean, that's all the way up there to Bristol.
Okay, well, his dad, the Sherfy's property is literally, 8-minute walk away from their house. Literally, like right up the road and around the curve.
Yeah, like if Sherfy Jr. lived up there next to Megan Boswell,
yeah,
it takes a good hour to drive up there, with traffic and everything.
Okay, well, Sherfy Jr. lived 4 minutes from Megan Boswell. But Sherfy Sr., his dad, lived an 8-minute walk away from Dawn and Candus's. And because his dad was out of town, his dad can't say whether or not Junior was at his house or not that day.
Yeah.
Think about what Candus said. Summer will always be close by her. Oh, I didn't hear her say that. You didn't know there was a beef? There's not a beef, I see you. We're just messing with you. Do you think it's possible that Junior could have abducted Summer? That is a theory I have went over before. What about you? What about you, Don?
If I go on facts, I have to stick with, if you just stick with the facts, it doesn't look good that, it is a fact, and nobody can deny it, that CPS was involved before Summer got missing. Sherfy wasn't involved up there before Summer got missing, as far as we know. You know, they've even mentioned what Jody Sue's son. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about all that, but it's a fact that CPS was up there before Summer got gone, and CPS is still involved because the boys are gone now. That's a fact, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's a fact.
Can't ignore it, right?
Right.
So, is there any facts that we can point to for Sherpy or Jody Sue's son or any other body?
No. Just the fact that Sherfy Jr. was a pedophile.
Well, there's like a gazillion pedophiles up there. There was even one living at 110 Ben Hill Road that done something way back in the day. He wasn't currently on the register list, or he's lucky he just lucky he wasn't in the system. You know what I mean?
Who?
You know,
Who, Junior?
Senior, Summer's dad.
Oh. Well, Junior was up there shortly before she got gone too, remember? A lot of people thought that he took her.
And hell, everybody was saying that when it comes to pedophiles, or the pedos, that well, hell, there's one right there from back in the day.
Right. Chris Marcos was up there shortly before she went missing too, from what I understand or remember.
Listen, there's kids. Listen, there's little kids. So if a little kid goes missing in the middle of the hood, and I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that, but like say, if little kid goes missing in the middle of the projects, how many pedos, convicted killers, and all that stuff do you think live within 300-400 feet of that child?
Right.
Do you think? And we've seen this on the news too. No, it normally ends up being someone, like ex-boyfriend, boyfriend or stepdad or stepmom, or it's not the dude that just got out of prison for robbing a gas station 20 years ago. It's the stepmom or the stepdad or the boyfriend.
Right.
Or sometimes just the parent. I hate to say that.
Right. Gemini Moon says, in my opinion, if C told D that Summer got hurt on something Dawn didn't fix, the stairs going to the basement, the old ones going outside, even the refrigerator outside that was shot up, right? Maybe. Brenda H says Robin L told CM that something isn't right regarding the wells. Yeah,
he told me on the phone that she kind of changed her thinking when, I don't know what she's talking about on this police report that she mentions to me, but she even told me, that something about the door. She said the door was unlocked, but on the police report it said locked.
Right.
Or vice versa. Anyway, the point is, she told me that's when she started getting suspicious.
Well, even that's what we originally started the chat for today, was because of so many different stories about where she was actually at when she went missing. And early on, Don Wells himself kept making the statement that she walked out of the basement door that was supposed to have been locked, and we've never seen her again. Don says that.
Did you ever find out if Robin Lane was pregnant?
No, me and Discovering was working on that this morning, but one thing led to another, and we haven't found the information yet.
Okay.
Does anybody in here remember anything about Robin Lane being pregnant in the latter part of 2021 and possibly giving birth around January of 2022? And I even remember that it was a little boy, guys. So I'm not completely crazy here, but I need somebody to help me find some information so that I know I'm not totally nuts and need to go sign myself in a Peninsula.
And I even remember you mentioning it to me like months and months and months ago. But
Right.
it just never went anywhere, you know, because I wasn't, you know, it wasn't nothing to me for her to be having a baby, you know what I mean?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there is. What I'm saying is, if it's true, if I'm correct, why hasn't anything? I mean, there's not been any pictures. She had her little girl out there with Dawn and Candus. Why not the baby? You know, that kind of thing. Where is that child at? I'm just
Interesting.
curious.
Inquiring minds want to know, right?
Yes. Okay. No. Only Candus and Summer went inside the house. No one else. Enchanted Life Path has a video on that. I think maybe. Okay, thank you, Amy. I'll check out his channel. If anybody does find anything, if you'll clip it for me and send it to me by email, I'd be so grateful, or messenger or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just send it to me. Nana, the funny farm. Yeah. Hey, I could still make videos from the crazy house. I'd probably get a whole lot more subscribers and shit too. We Scottish Mom, no, you're not blocked. Why would you be blocked?
If she was blocked, she couldn't post a message, could she?
Right. Hello, I'm that bitch. How are you? But anyways, guys. So Dawn, do you think she was inside the house or outside the house?
I don't believe a damn thing Candus says happened when she got home that day.
Well, the thing about it is she told YouTube, and her and Dawn both have been telling YouTube for 2 years now, that she was in the basement and got gone. And Dawn even started chiming in and agreeing with it. But all the news outlets, Ronnie Lawson himself, the TBI, all them make statements that she was outside the house, walking away from the house, walking wherever from the house. Now,
she even went on WJHL and said the same thing that she told us, didn't she?
Right, yeah. Well, the thing about it is she's admitted on Daisy's channel that she told LE one thing and told YouTube something completely different. So, was she telling LE that the baby walked away from the house or was walking up the road or whatever? Because they're...
No, if she told LE something different than what she's told us, you know, that's gonna raise red flags.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm sure John Pruitt's probably like, why are you telling them this and telling us this?
Cursed with Curiosity says, but she don't lie, y'all. Get real. Candus don't lie. Her metabolism won't allow it. Remember?
I don't think that they're that stupid. I don't think that they would tell us one thing publicly in front of, you know, billions of people on YouTube and tell law enforcement another thing. So thinking about it, I'd say that that's probably what they told law enforcement too.
Well, if that's what she told law enforcement too, then where did Ronnie Lawson and WJHL and Leslie Earhart and all them come up with the fact that she was walking down the road?
I think they kind of recanted that later on. That was just some information that was given to them.
Okay. Well, Don, listen, Don Wells himself says on several different interviews, she walked out of that basement door that was supposed to have been locked, and we ain't never seen her since.
Do you believe him?
Well,
think about who the source is.
Believe in him or believe in Candus? Which one would you believe?
Okay, now let's analyze that statement. He said what now?
He said she went out the basement door that was supposed to have been locked, and we haven't ever, I'm paraphrasing it, but we haven't seen her since.
he could be telling the truth. You know why?
Why?
Because if she went out the basement door with Sonia or Margie, he's not lying. She went out that door.
There you go.
I'm not lying, folks. She went out that door. I'm just not saying that she went out there by herself, but she went out that door.
Right. If you haven't already hit the like button, yes, please hit the like button, guys. Nana, do you think that the milk bottles in the supposed last photo of Summer was carrying drugs? It's a possibility. I can tell you for one thing for sure, it wasn't carrying moonshine. Somebody a long time ago brought that up. They don't put moonshine in plastic containers. What?
And I was going to do a video on this, but I'll let you all think about it. Your subs and everybody. We still, to this day, have never seen proof of life since they left the swimming hole that day.
Right.
Explain that one.
Oh, hey, I want anybody in chat, I'm asking you too. But on Daisy's channel the other day, I wanted to do a reaction video to this, but I didn't do it. Daisy and Christine and all them were talking about how Summer was on video at the stables, and Summer was on video at the grocery store, and Summer was on video at the Walgreens. And has anybody ever heard anything like that? And if they have, please tell me where you got that information, because as far as I know, law enforcement ain't giving out any information about anything. I'd like to go watch that channel. Don, do you remember hearing anything about her being seen on all those videotapes?
Someone said, and I think it was on cracking cases.
Yeah.
I think Cam said that Summer was seen at a convenience store, maybe down the road from their house that day, maybe coming home.
Right.
But it kind of went away. Nobody else has really said anything about that. If that's the case, depending on what time it was, like say if it was at 2:30, 2:15, 2 o'clock, after they dropped Hunter off, supposedly, there would be evidence of proof of life between Hunter's house and their home.
Right. Well, it could be over at the Marathon or the Dollar General where they went and got dog food and stuff.
Yeah, but I remember Cam. Does anybody else remember that? Cam talking about that?
I don't.
Because he was in a...
Yeah, I want Heart to Touch. Says CM had said that. So did Cracking Cases. Okay.
I can't remember what convenience store. I know it was a gas station convenience store type deal. Like a Shell gas station or something.
Right. Discovering says, I've only heard Daisy say that. I heard Ellie say they had proof of life that day, but I just assumed it was from the metadata from her videos.
Well, there's something somebody could ask Candus. Did
What?
you and Summer go into any stores on the way home after dropping Hunter off? Or did you and Summer go into any stores after dropping Hunter off? Nobody's ever asked Candus that question.
Right.
I don't think that would be too rude to ask.
Right. Pills, we Scottish Mom, yeah, pills are a big thing in America, but I don't think there's that many going to be in. I don't think you're going to have to multiple milk jugs to carry them in.
Hey, so if anybody can ask Candus a question out there, if anybody's on good terms over on the channel that Candus is always on, and you're allowed to ask questions, see if they'll let you ask that one.
Did JLR show what? All the videos and stuff? Or her being on the video? No. He did not.
Now you got me wondering.
What?
if Candus and Summer went into a store on the way home from dropping Hunter off.
Well, I told you what 2 stores they passed up the drive or the Ben Hill Road after they dropped Hunter off, after the milk jug video supposedly was taken. They passed up Ben Hill Road and went on up the other direction and went around to the Dollar General and the Marathon right there. And supposedly got dog food from the Dollar General and something from the gas station. I don't know if it was gas or what.
But did Summer go in?
That I don't know, but I know that they went over there before they went home.
Might have to take me a drive over and ask them. They might tell me go screw myself, but
Right. Why didn't they take the milk up to the house first? Have you seen that driveway, honey? Do you live in Tennessee? Trust me, you driveways like that, and I'm not making excuses, but driveways like that, you don't want to go up and down them more than what you absolutely have to. It's just quicker just to run onto the store and grab what you got to grab. And it ain't like milk's going to go bad in 30 minutes.
hey, here's another question for your chat.
What?
With all the ruts and everything in the driveway, do you think it would have woke Summer up going up it?
No, I don't. What do you guys think? Do you think it would have woke Summer up going up that driveway?
I think it would have kind of rocked her back and forth and kind of helped her sleep.
Yeah. Well, especially when kids that live in the country, come on, and they're used to riding on roads like that. It ain't going to bother them, trust me.
And sometimes when kids like her are asleep like that, I mean, it's like, you basically have to pour water on them to wake them up. Oh, but that reminds me, she said she just snapped right up though, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, she probably would have. I was thinking about that. She probably would have snapped right up because if they were supposedly unloading the milk and the groceries and Summer was asleep on the milk, wouldn't she have had to have grabbed the milk out from under Summer?
Yeah, but normally 5-year-olds, whenever my kids were 5-year-old, they were like really groggy for the first 2-3 minutes, and then they were like, okay,
Yeah.
because they were in such a deep sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It normally took mine a few minutes to kind of like, okay, I know, I'm with you now. Just give me a minute. I've never, not thinking about my kids, they never just snapped right up from asleep in the car.
Right.
You had to shake them and be like, hey baby, wake up, we're home. Anybody else ever have that?
I don't. My kids always slept. I always had to wake them up when I got home.
Yeah, but when they were 5, were they a little groggy when you was trying to wake them up?
Well, yeah. Kids still are. My granddaughter still is, and she's 7.
Yeah.
And you try to wake her up, she's still groggy. Unless you don't want them awake. Now, if you don't want them awake, they're wide awake.
Yeah. And and I don't know, I've never seen a kid like jump up from sleeping in the back of a car and want to start doing jumping jacks.
Right.
Or wake up period and want to start doing them. Not a 5-year-old anyway.
My kids needed food growing up. Summer had no food that day. She was weak. Lone Star Mama said that. She was propped up, not snugly. I agree with that one. Someone mentioned no condensation on the milk jugs. Maybe camera not that great. Right. But that was wee Scottish mom that said that. She was asking if there could be something else in the milk jugs besides cold milk.
Now, I do know the kind of phone Candus has, because I had one. It's a Motorola G something, because I can tell by the way the cameras are lined up on the back of her phone.
Yeah.
I noticed that when Molly and them was at Dawn's workplace giving them a hard time. That camera, that if she still has that phone, it takes crappy pictures. It's a very cheap phone. I mean, it's probably only got 32 gigabytes of storage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Discovering says, anytime I wake my son up, he's groggy unless it's a school day. LOL. He loves school. Yeah, no food, no bathroom breaks. And that's why I think Hunter ran over into the woods when they got to the pond that day.
Oh yeah. He went probably running into the woods because he's like, I gotta go piss.
Exactly. Wish we could have seen the expiration date on those milk jugs. Yeah.
Hey, but I wonder why. You remember when? Well, Josh was talking to Chris here recently on his channel.
Yeah.
And Chris said when he was interviewing Candus up there at the swimming hole, the search team came up there at Warriors Path and was walking up into the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
And oh, good Lord, I just about saw a car hit another car head on because they're trying to pass somebody. Oh Lord. Anyway, Candus didn't have time to drive all the way. Well, if there's a 3-hour window unaccounted for, I guess she could have driven Summer back to Warriors Pass swim hole and put her up in the woods somewhere.
But they searched up there, did they not?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why would they search up there?
Because that was where she went swimming. Of course they're going to search up there. But you got to think, if they were searching all those spots away from the house, then obviously they think the parents done something. Why else would they go to spots where the parent had the child and search?
Oh, here's what I want. Oh, well, about spilled the beans. I was going to
just say it.
I ain't been on it.
What? You're breaking up.
Early. They'll get a preview.
Okay, go ahead.
Since the police and the Idaho investigation, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Since the police and the Idaho investigation came out and said, we don't think the roommates are involved in this, we don't think the hub drivers involved. Can they not do that for Dawn and Candus?
Yeah, they could.
It would really save a lot of headache if they.
Yeah, but like I was saying though, why would, if they thought abduction, they thought she wandered off, whatever, they would check around the house. Why would they drive 30 minutes away from where she was last seen to hunt an area and hunt the water where she was at that day, if they did not think that the mother or the parents or whatever were involved? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they would have absolutely, if they didn't think Candus had anything in it, they would have absolutely no reason to go to the water hole if they have proof of life after she made it home.
Right.
So obviously they didn't have proof of life that she made it home. Or they wouldn't have been searching the horse pond. Think about it, guys. And if they thought Dawn and Candus were innocent, they wouldn't be searching the horse pond, the last place that Candus had Summer. And in that, I wonder if they went in and searched Allie's house. If they searched the horse pond, there was only one place Candus went after she left the horse pond, and that was Allie's house.
I mean, in my opinion, I think everything that happened that day, including Summer, getting gone, was planned. I think it was planned down to a T.
Discovering says if Ellie don't want to rule out DNC because they want all this pressure building up on them, hoping one of or both will crack.
And here's something I've always wondered too, because the case involving the boys bleeds over into Summers,
Yeah.
and the boys were taking, they were taken from the home, and people keep saying, Child Protective Services, were the boys next?
I don't know.
And remember Dawn kept saying, it's not safe here for the boys right now. It's not safe. Were they next?
Well, he told me that it wasn't safe for the boys because where he had done the drugs and flipped out at the house.
Again, maybe he was saying that he could, not in his right mind, maybe hurt the boys.
Maybe. Are you in your right mind? Now I have to check because Tim Mullen says we have to be sure that people speaking on our channels are in the right state of mind. Dawn B, are you in the right state of mind before you make that kind of statement?
You can't be in the right state of mind to be a YouTuber.
Well, I had to check.
If you're a YouTuber, you've never been in the right state of mind.
Well, I had to ask. You thought because he said because the house was dangerous?
Tim Mullins reminds me of that little boy in the classroom that keeps trying to get attention, but nobody just really gives him that attention.
Right. Cursed with Curiosity says no. If it was planned, the boys wouldn't be a possible factor in the story, and the timeline would be different. Quitting YouTube says no. If they were going to crack, it would have happened by now. My opinion.
I think if it wasn't planned, it would have been easier to figure out.
Right. If Ellie thought Summer died at the watering hole, Sullivan County would be in charge. What? No, but they were checking. They still checked it. They sent in dive teams and everything over there.
That's why I was saying, I think someone told me they even dove out there at the swimming hole.
Yeah, they did. I see you saying that Sullivan County would be in charge if they thought she was out there.
No, they would just assist. Just like if, Dawn knew somebody in Monroe County and that they might have buried Summer's body somewhere in Monroe County. Monroe County would assist Candus County in searching that property.
Right.
But Hawkins County would still be in charge of it. I mean, they're going to be in charge of it, no matter.
Amy says, yes, ma'am. Dawn said, cause the way that CM portrayed the house, and therefore they said it was unsafe. That's not true, Amy. That's not true. Because the boys were took before CM went up there and done that video.
Oh, yeah, they were, weren't they?
Yes. Karen Vickers says a neighbor said they seen her walking down the road.
I swear, I think Ansley Daniels on that last press conference, or maybe one, I can't remember. Anyway, I think Leslie kind of recanted that and been like, I think she said early on when we first, but due to the other stuff coming out, that's no longer the case.
I don't ever remember her saying that, but I'll go rewatch the videos and see. But I don't remember her recanting it.
Do you want to email her? I can email her and ask her what the status is on that.
Yeah. That would be great. Rita Ledford says it was planned. And hey, Dawn, people don't just fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it was an accident, it would have been easier to figure out because, you're going to be, like if there's an accident and a cover-up, you're going to be freaking out. You're going to, that you shouldn't be, you're going to be leaving behind stuff that you know, because you're nervous. You're like, gone life, you know, and you're trying to do this and do that in a hurry, and you're going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? But in this case, it doesn't seem like any mistakes were made, even down to text messages.
Well, Teresa Sutton says, and keep in mind, she does say all of us, but I'm going to rephrase her statement. Teresa says, well, the one thing is, if this was planned, then Don B, they're a lot smarter than you are. No, actually, she said they're a lot smarter than all of us.
Yeah. I think people are not giving Don and Candus the benefit of the doubt. I mean, now, can Don and Candus have enough intelligence to go buy a house or start a business or, you know, go apply for a, you know, engineering job? No. What they are smart enough to do is pull off criminal activity without getting caught. That's their talent.
Now,
That's
hold
what
up.
people forget.
Hold up. Don Wells was the owner of a trucking business. Thank you very much.
A trucking business?
Yes, he owned his own trucking business. You didn't
How
know
long did
that?
last?
Huh? I don't
How
know.
long did that last?
However long it took for his dad to try to beat the taxes. His dad opened the business up in his name because he
So
couldn't.
it involved criminal activity.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right, huh?
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. His dad had evidently, for whatever reason, couldn't have the business in his name any longer. So he reopened it in Don Wells Jr.'s name or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. People forget that, you know. Yeah, these people are not on the intelligent side of intelligent. They're on the intelligent side of, you know, criminal activity and getting away with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction on that. Don has bought a house and owns a business. Not was. It still is in his name. Although I'm assuming it's not still active, is it? Because his dad's too sick to run it. Kitty Cat says they are very street smart. His dad was a criminal too. We know he was a bank robber, allegedly.
Who kept getting Don out of jail? Answer me that.
Anyways, guys, we have been going for 3 hours and 13 minutes. So I believe.
Oh, good Lord. Girl, you do not have a life. See, YouTubians don't have a life.
Oh, shut up. Who's sitting here? We don't have a life. You're supposed to be at work right now. And what are you doing sitting here on YouTube?
I can't help it. I'm in good company.
There you go. That was a good answer.
You never know. I might be working.
You're not.
Oh, yeah, I'm a man. We don't work, do we?
No, if you're working, then the only thing you could be doing is never mind. I'm not going to say that. Lone Star says she's working on YouTube. Oh, thank you, ICU. I appreciate that, sweetheart. ICU says you're killing it with your lives, Nana. I know they have been picking up. My lives have really been going good.
So remember, everybody, if you're able to ask someone, did her and Summer stop somewhere on the way home at like a convenience store, please do. And try to tell whoever's channel you're on that that's not a rude question.
Just think of all, wait a minute, hold up. Just think of all the money that everyone has made on this poor child. Well, honey, I'm sorry to tell you, but I ain't made that much money.
Oh Lord, Dr. Phil made like just that on that one day, that one day that they aired Summer Wells,
Yeah,
they probably made like 2-3 million.
probably. Now all the
Oh,
bigger YouTubes, yeah, they probably make the money. Wouldn't you say,
oh,
Don B?
oh yeah, I noticed that the other day.
What?
There's a YouTuber that talks to Candus,
Yeah.
and she says, I do not have Summer Wells in my title. Well, I got to looking down there, where you can, in your description, where you can tag people.
Yeah.
She had it down there.
Well, in her lives, the little logo that's up in if you're facing the screen, it'd be in the top right hand corner. Summer Wells' picture and her name is up there every time.
Yeah, but YouTube don't pick up on that. They only pick up on what's in your title and what's in your hashtags and your tags.
YouTube ain't the ones watching, though. It's the subscribers and the viewers that's watching. And it don't matter. If she says she don't have Summer Wells' name attached to it, then it shouldn't be on the screen, period.
Yeah, but it's if you look in her tags, it says Summer. Oh God, I've seen where she's had Summer Wells and like 8 times in the description tagged just repeatedly, and I'm like, you only have to put it in there once. You know that, right?
Right. You need to stop talking about your good buddy. Now, there was a time that she didn't open that live up, that you weren't right there on that panel with her.
Oh, no, we're not going to start no drama.
I'm not starting drama. I'm saying you shouldn't be talking about your good buddy like that.
Oh.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, guys, as I said.
That'd be like me doing a belly dance for Bob G.
Oh, Jesus. Guys, I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but I have to admit, I'm telling y'all, not looking at anything other than, and to me, that was the ugliest picture of a man specimen. It was unreal. But if you just look at the walls and the door in that picture Bob G has on his page, that is not Don B. That is not Don B's house. That is not Don B's office. That picture is not Don B. Either Prayer Garden or Bob G1 manipulated that picture and put Don B's face on that picture. I'm telling y'all, that's just the whole thing. It's horrible. And why Bob G would do that is beyond me, unless he himself has a crush on Don B.
But anyway, if you're getting ready to get off here, just let people know. I mean, back to Summer, that if someone could ask Candus, did she stop somewhere?
What you're wanting to know is, did Candus stop anywhere and Summer get out of the vehicle and go in the store with her?
Yeah, where she would be like on the cameras inside the store and stuff.
And there was another question you wanted to ask to Candus. What was it?
Will they?
Oh.
Will they attend the next press conference if there is another one?
Will they attend and participate in the next press conference?
Like Brandy and Tyler stood up there next to Huff. I mean, will Dawn and Candus stand up there next to Leslie and Ronnie and, Detective Pruitt?
Quitting YouTube says, I will call Candus and ask her.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You might want to tell her, Quitting, that I'm the one wanting to know instead of Don B.
Yeah. She'll probably hang up on you. Well, there's an awful lot of people talking to her, ain't there?
Yeah. Nana don't pop with the newspaper. Huh? Okay, Corey. Not sure what that was meaning, but.
Well, if you're going to get off here, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to try to pack up alone. I don't want everybody listening to it.
All right. I'll talk to you in a little while.
All right. See you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay, guys. As I was saying a minute ago, it's been 3 hours and almost 20 minutes. And yes, it was a great live today. Thank you. I don't believe Dawn and Candus will stand beside authorities for Summer. They don't even make weekly inquiries. I thought high school was a cliche. No. I don't have my glasses on, guys. I have not. I've been asking everybody if anybody's heard anything about a vigil this year, and I've not heard nothing. Quitting YouTube hates all of us. Well, she just said she loved me. Thank you, Nana. You're a best over 3 hours a long test. Thank you, Nana. You're a beast over 3 hours a long test. Yeah. So quitting, is it true? Do you hate all of us? Like innocent and until proven guilty does? Hello, Darlene. Well, quitting, I will promise you this. As long as you act the way you did today, darling, I don't care how you think or what you believe. You're welcome here. As long as everybody shows respect to everybody, that's all I care about. Everybody has their own opinions. So, you think it's going to go unresolved, really? Honey, I haven't found anything out about Joshua. Now, wait a minute. I will pick this up. Hang on a second, guys, before you start getting out of here. Joshua Rutherford, I don't know if it's him or not. There was someone commented on his video, and he says, I am not missing. I asked for proof, and I haven't heard anything back. Excuse me for coughing, guys. Sorry. Uh-oh, I see you. You better be careful. Quitting is single. Are you single, ICU? I believe ICU is single. We are Summer's Army. We will continue to march for her. Yes, we will. Not one of us were put on this earth for people to like us. Justice needs to be served. The games need to stop, and the truth needs to be told. 100%, Lisa. Oh, you are happily married. Oh, I didn't know that, I see you. But we don't know if that's really him, since his sister claims to have access to everything, including his bank account. Right. "25 years and counting." All right, guys. Y'all know I love you with everything in me. I really, really do. Oh, Versi, thank you. How are you doing today, sweetheart? Vibes says she's very happily single, quitting YouTube. How are you today, Versi? I hope you're doing good, sweetheart. Discovering says, I'm past the point of caring if anybody likes me, because all that matters is how I feel about myself. My brother says that's why I'm still single. Oh, I see you, Pam Wells. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about her. Versi, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord of mercy. Happily single, not looking, but started dating someone. Oh, wow. Thank you, Versi. That was very kind of you and much appreciated. Very much, yes. Pam Wells had a lot of kids and adopted some. How come we haven't heard about them? As far as I know, she only had the two. And I'm not, I mean, you may know something I don't know, but from what I understand, she was addicted to drugs before. And recently it has been said that she was still addicted to drugs. So when, at any point in time, was she allowed to adopt children? And that is alleged. I don't know that she is or was. Another one of her stepkids. Has she been married after Dawn? No, she couldn't have been married after Dawn. She just got divorced from Dawn in 2015. Drop the link, please. Yes, ma'am. It's your channel too. You're more than welcome to have that link. Why hasn't Unsolved Mysteries picked up the Summer Wells case? I don't know. I would like to know though. I think I've written them and haven't never heard anything back from them. I know I got a hold of or I sent information to Tucker Carlson also. Can I see your face, lovely? There you are. Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, I was asked about the Wendy lady,
Yeah.
Pam's daughter. Now I know that Pam supposedly had a lot of kids. Okay, she had
Yeah.
like 10, 15 kids or something like that, and supposedly she had adopted some of those kids. Okay, the only ones that I know of is her son Richard, Margie, little Donnie, her daughter Pamela, and Francis. And those are the only 5 kids that I know out of all of her kids.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you ever hear the rumor that Candus was one of her foster kids?
Yes, I have heard that.
Do you believe that?
No, I do not believe that. I do not believe that at all.
So you don't think that's I've heard that that's how she met Dawn, and then I've also heard that Dawn and Candus, Dawn's daughter, I'm assuming Margie, and Candus were friends, and that's how he met her.
No, it was Dawn's daughter, Dawn's stepdaughter, Frances, introduced Candus and Donnie. And then it was said that Pam adopted Candus. I don't believe that. And she supposedly has paperwork on Candus, and I don't believe that neither.
Well, they also
Because
said that
Candus didn't come to Arkansas until she was in her 20s. Okay.
right. That's when she married
And-
Richard.
Right. Well, I think they were already divorced before she even came to Arkansas.
Who? Richard and Candus and Richard didn't get divorced. Richard died.
Oh, Richard died?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I didn't know about Candus's family on that side. I knew about Donnie and Pam and all of them. But
Well, see, that's another reason I would love to find out what Richard's last name is, because not like it is not going to help solve the case. It's not going to do anything to benefit Finding Summer. And please don't come at me for saying this. But the plain and simple fact is, we're all nosy when it comes to this stuff, or we wouldn't be on here watching. I would like to know what Richard's last name is, because everybody's having such a hard time trying to find Summer's birth certificate, which you can't do in the state of Tennessee anyways. But when a woman when she's not married, the child is normally given the mother's last name. Dawn and Candus were not married yet. So Candus more than likely still legally had her ex or her past husband's last name. That's a thought. If somebody would research that.
Well, they probably have it on that paperwork. They could, well, no, that would be her maiden name if she. Okay, if her and that guy were married when Candus and that guy's two oldest kids got taken away, her last name is probably on that paperwork.
What?
Her
No, wait a
married
minute.
name.
Are you talking about Andrew?
Yeah, I don't know about Richard.
Okay, Andrew, as far as I know, I don't know for a fact, but as far as I know, her and Andrew were never married, but they did have the two children together.
Right.
No, this was a man that she married after Andrew. And I'm assuming, I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that it may be the father of the baby girl that she gave up. But he passed. So, and some people are going to say,
oh,
well,
you're talking about JoJo, who we call Joe John.
Who's Joe John?
That was the guy that overdosed.
That she was married to?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we called him Joe John.
So what was his last name?
I don't remember. That's what I was asking a friend of mine because I was thinking of him the other day.
Some people are going to say, well, why aren't the boys' last name, whatever that is? Because in the state of Tennessee, if you're not married to a man, as long as he's standing there willing to sign the paper stating that, yeah, this is my kid, then you can give the kid the father's name. But if he ain't standing right there, then you can't. And that would also sort of explain the conversation. Remember the conversation we heard about where Dawn was fussing at her saying she needed to go and get the birth certificate and social security card and stuff straightened out?
Yeah.
That would explain that too.
Right. Well, the oldest one was born here in Arkansas. He was born in Fayetteville.
Right. So do you know Cora?
Yes, ma'am. I sure do. Cora Rogers. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Cora. That's
yes,
who I spoke to. That's who I found out about Richard from.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Lisa, what do you really think? I mean, did you know Candus back then?
Yeah, but see, Candus denied even knowing me. And maybe it was because I had a different name then whenever I met her. I don't know. Or maybe I was talking to someone else about that, and I don't understand how she could have sat right there and lied to Daisy and told Daisy that I knew her, that she didn't know me. Excuse me. She didn't know me.
Did you show your face?
I wasn't on Daisy's panel.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I evidently I didn't see that episode. But
yeah,
so you knew. So what kind of person was Candus then when you knew her?
Candus, Candus was an outgoing person. She was like, she really liked people, you know? I mean, it wasn't like that she was this horrible person that people on YouTube or social media now has made her out to be or whatever, but Candus was an outgoing person whenever I knew her. I mean, she was real friendly. She liked talking to everybody. And she was homeless at the time whenever I met her. And
and I know what Kathy told me about this topic, okay? And I believe Kathy, but when you knew Candus, you said that Joe John passed because of a drug overdose. Did Candus
Yes.
do drugs?
Candus did drugs too, but him and Candus were separated whenever Joe John died. This guy named Richard died. Well, we called him Joe John, but they were already separated,
Huh.
and he was living with another woman, and the woman found him dead in their apartment. Yeah,
So she wasn't ever pregnant when you knew her?
yeah, she was pregnant. She had a little girl.
That's the one she gave up for adoption?
Yeah, that's the one that DHS got.
So did it belong to Joe John?
Yeah,
I thought so.
yeah.
So, okay, so she was outgoing. Did she seem like she suffered from maybe autism or any kind of slight learning
No, not at all. Not at all.
Does she seem like the same person that you knew now? I mean, does she act the same now as she did back then?
Well, I haven't been around her in several years, though.
No, I mean the way she's talking, like on the live streams and stuff. The way her and Dawn acts together, and
No, it's a total different Candus that I know, you know.
right.
And I first heard about this case through another friend of mine that we all know, and she had sent me a deal on it on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh no, Candus and Donnie lost their daughter," and she said, "Yeah," and she sent me the link, so I got on there, and I was like, "Wow."
Do you know Dawn too? Then, huh?
Yeah.
Does he act like the same person that you knew back then?
No, no. I've never seen Donnie flip out like that on YouTube or anywhere else. I've never seen Donnie flip out on anybody.
So you don't think they had anything to do with it, right?
Well, I ain't saying that. I mean, they could. It's a very good possibility. But whenever I knew Donnie and Candus, I mean, Candus was like chilled out and stuff like that. And Donnie, he was chilled out, but Donnie was always on drugs and stuff like that. But
Well, can I ask your opinion about something, Lisa?
yeah.
In your opinion, what would be more likely from the people that you knew back then? What would be more likely? That they handed her off to somebody else, or that they were evil monsters? Now,
Well, to
Yeah.
see Don on YouTube and talking like he does or did, I would say that they probably did something to her.
huh?
And it seemed really weird to me because I don't understand this. People were saying that DHS took Donnie's oldest daughter. DHS did not take Donnie's oldest daughter.
Oh, well, I've never said that, so I've never even heard that, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
there's people
assumed
saying that.
him and Pam split up when they were living here in Tennessee, correct?
They split up before he even moved to Tennessee.
No. Back when Pam and the kids lived up here on Ben Hill.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Donnie now, it seems like Donnie he flipped out for some reason. I don't know if it's because, and in my opinion, is Donnie flipped out and he thinks that Summer was abducted. Somebody had abducted Summer.
Yeah, well,
And that's stuck in his mind. And if he was at work, how would he know that?
right. Well, you also have to remember he had something, angels or something, whispering in
Angels
his
came
ear.
to him and told him,
Yeah,
supposedly.
that something was bad was going to happen to his daughter.
Yeah.
So, and these
But in
are,
my
you know,
opinion,
go ahead.
Donnie makes himself look guilty, okay, by getting on YouTube acting like he does.
Right.
And that's what I tried to tell him.
Well, they all make themselves look guilty by getting on YouTube or anywhere and saying what they've said. If you go check out my video I released earlier today, seriously, Candus in one breath says if she had just went outside with Summer, then she feels like Summer would have been all right. She feels guilty because she did not go outside with Summer. And then she says that Summer got gone in the basement.
See, that's
Dawn-
my deal, okay? This is my theory, okay?
Yeah.
How can a child just vanish from a basement and not knowing what happened or nothing? And you go down there and you search your basement and your child's gone. There ain't no way a child can just up and vanish from a basement. No
Well,
way.
a stranger went up there. Listen, this is the way I see it. A stranger decided they wanted to kidnap a child. So they went to the farthest parts of Tennessee to find the most backwoods place they could find, to one of the most darkest hollers they could find. They drive up through there and see a driveway, and they have no damn clue how far it goes, because with all the woods and the trees and the foliage, you damn sure can't tell. And they say, I know there's a house up there somewhere, so I'm going to walk up through these woods, and I'm going to find that house. And when I do, I bet you I'm going to find a kid. And when they got up there, they sat and they could see through the walls and see a child inside that basement. So they decided that they were going to go in there through the basement door that was supposed to have been locked and steal that child. And that's how it happened. That's how they stole that. That's how a stranger abduction happened.
Wow.
I'm not buying it. There's no way that
I don't buy that story neither.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
Nobody is going to take that much of a risk or that much of a chance to go up through them woods, not to even know where the house is at, or if there even is one.
Right.
And even if they thought that the kid was in the basement, how did they not know that there wasn't a grown man or somebody sitting in that basement with them?
Exactly. Didn't Donnie say that there was a man up there on the hill?
Supposedly, yeah, trying to touch the kids. That's what Hunter said.
Right.
We have to take everything he said with a grain of salt, because remember, Andrew Hiltz told him, if you feel uncomfortable or you don't want to answer a question, lie to him. But that's what Hunter said, was that Dawn called Candus while they were at Walgreens and said there was some man up there on the hill trying to touch the kids.
But has Candus confirmed that?
No. Well, when they were doing the video at the house, I think it was after they walked, her and Chris McDonough, when they walked out of the house in the basement and they walked up next to where the school bus was at, they were talking about it there. So I'll have to go back and rewatch, but that's where they talked about that, and that's where she would have confirmed or denied that.
Because, see, I've never seen that video. I mean, I've seen the one where he toured the house, where he went down into the basement.
Yeah, you didn't
and
keep
she was
watching
showing
it?
him the room.
You didn't keep watching it?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, if you keep watching it, they walk out and they walk across the driveway over next to where the school bus is at and stuff. And he starts talking to her about what Hunter says. And he's comparing notes with her about what Hunter said and what she either agrees or disagrees with.
Right. I don't believe the abduction theory neither.
Right.
And I believe the milk jug photo was a staged photo.
Right. I think that
And she may not have made it home. She may not have made it home.
I think that video was either took by Marlena. I believe it was took by Marlena. And I believe the day that Summer got gone, Candus is like, I need something. And Marlena sent that and now I don't know this for certain, but I've heard that they can't find any metadata on the milk jug video itself.
Right.
And metadata comes from you actually videoing it or taking the picture on your own phone. So
right, but wasn't it recorded off of somebody else's phone?
That's what I'm saying. If Marlena is the one that actually took the video, then she sent the video to Candus.
Right.
That would explain why there's no metadata on Candus's phone.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate
this whole story to me is like really twisted and confusing, very confusing.
So, do you know if Candus ever said that she actually wanted girls or not?
I've never heard her say that. I've heard other people say that.
Right. So I mean, as a person, you were friends with her way back in the day. I mean, it wasn't like she ever sat around and said, I can't stand little girls, or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, I know it was rumors off of YouTube. I have never heard Candus or Dawn or Grandis say she didn't like girls or she didn't want, girls or anything like that. I was just wanting to know if, in passing, if she ever made a statement like that,
No. As a matter of fact, she had never even talked about her two oldest kids. I'd never even heard her talk about them. So,
Tig says my Android can change time, date, and place, and save it and send it to others. Well, you must have a supersonic phone.
I mean, I could probably send recordings of things on my phone too, but I don't ever try to.
Right. Quitting, it is making everybody dizzy, hun.
But this whole thing is like got me confused.
Right. I appreciate you popping up here, and I appreciate you. Not a lot of people are willing to say, "Oh yeah, I was friends with them, and yeah, they were nice guys." And I know. Cora said, she told me the same thing. Candus loved her kids. Candus, she loved kids. She was a good person. I'm not going to say anything bad about her. I have not had one person that I have contacted out of Candus's past that has ever said anything but good stuff about Candus.
As a matter of fact, Candus lived with this one girl that had twins. Her name was Jennifer, and Candus had moved in over there to help her take care of the two kids that Jennifer never would take care of. That it was horrible. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into that situation, but she was really good with those kids. And that's what I don't understand, why all this happened and everything's been said and all the confusion's been going on, and Donnie getting on YouTube acting like a fool and then running over to Daisy's channel getting coddled. Okay. Right. Daisy, as a YouTube creator, didn't even know the Wells, should have never even got close to them to begin with, and should have never even coddled them.
Right. ICU said, can you give Cliff Notes on Candus being married to Joe John?
Can I give Cliff Notes?
Yeah, sort of like, like what year was it that they were married, that kind of stuff,
Oh, I have no idea what year they were married.
No, I'm okay. Well, what years was it that you were friends with them?
Well, I knew Candus, I think it was in 2004.
So that would have been right after she lost the babies. I believe.
Yeah, because she didn't even have any of her kids with her. They were already done and gone.
Yeah, I think Candus Floden was born in 2002, and then they were took when she was 6 months. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was right after that they came to Arkansas. Her and her mom came to Arkansas. Now, I never met her mom, though.
Oh, I see you. She don't know what his last name is, or she did know, but she can't think of what it is. She's trying to find out from somebody else that knew him.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy when I first started talking about her being married to Richard, but like I said, I contacted Cora, and she's the one that told me about her being married to Richard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I talked to her cousin up in Wisconsin, the one where they had, I think it was Summer's third or fourth birthday party, or fourth birthday party, maybe. She, like I said, she didn't have anything but good stuff to say about her cousin. So I don't know.
And I think Joe John died in 2006 or 2007, somewhere in there.
I know supposedly Don still gets jealous if she puts his jacket on.
Oh,
Don,
wow.
he's still jealous of that man. Because evidently Candace still has Joe John's jacket, and she puts it on every now and then.
Yeah.
And Don flips.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe she, like, the thing is that unless you get a divorce, I don't ever see you, like, if your spouse dies, I don't see you taking your maiden name back. Sort of like you do when you get divorced, you don't want that person's name anymore, so you take your maiden name back. But if your spouse dies, but you said he wasn't with Candace anymore, right?
No, he wasn't with Candace whenever he died. He was living with some other girl. And I can't remember that girl's name.
They were, and it was in Arkansas, wasn't it, Lisa?
Yeah.
Do you know if they divorced?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, I didn't think they did. Social Security and widow's benefit. I don't think that she would have been able to draw Social Security off of him. I don't think he probably worked enough to pay in Social Security. No, she can't remember his last name, hon. She's trying to find out for us.
Nana, you can look me up on Facebook.
Okay,
It's
baby.
under Lisa Jaton. I'm on Sissy Bible's Facebook page.
Okay. Is that PG?
Yeah, that's PG.
Okay. I kept seeing her name Sissy Bible pop up, and I could have swore that was who that was, but I wasn't for sure. But okay. And I'm glad to know how to pronounce your last name, because I've been saying it Jetton. So
Jaton.
okay, got you. All righty, hon. I appreciate you jumping up here. And guys, it has been 4 hours now. I think we're gonna go ahead and close it out. So thank you, Lisa, for coming up and telling us what you do know.
Uh-huh.
You have a great day, sweetheart, okay?
All right. You too.
All right, bye, hon.
Bye.
All righty, guys. Oh, I should have asked her that, huh? Oh, I didn't think about that one. I will get a hold of her and I will ask. But I appreciate all of you guys sticking around. Thank you for listening for 4 straight hours. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I could listen to myself for that long. I don't know how y'all do it. Right. All right, guys. I love yous. I will see y'all later. Hopefully, I will go ahead and do another live tomorrow. More than likely, I will. But y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, and God bless.